Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live, coming off another negative weekly performance for both the Dow and S&P 500. We're seeing North American stock futures back in positive territory so far this morning. We had the NASDAQ, the only one that made it back to positive territory on the week last week. It ended up about 0.3%. Meanwhile, it was the fourth in 5 for the Dow to the downside, while the S&P 500 was 2 in a row. So we'll see if we can get a bit of a bounce back coming up this morning. Cryptocurrency markets back in focus again. We tested those Wednesday lows from last week over the weekend down around the 32,000 level for Bitcoin. But big bounce here this morning back towards 37. Possibly even 38,000 for Bitcoin. So cryptocurrency stocks in focus this morning, including Coinbase. So we'll have a look at a few of those coming up. Last week, of course, the sell-off was triggered by China's government coming out saying they're going to clamp down on both mining of cryptocurrencies and profiting as well from cryptocurrencies in that country. Earnings still to get through this week as well. There's a number of them in the retail group. Nordstrom's, Urban Outfitters, Gap, Ulta Beauty coming up as well. From the tech group, NVIDIA, Snowflake, Workday, Salesforce still to come as well. Going to be a busy week. It's Monday, May 24th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go. Look at North American markets so far. You can see, as I mentioned, they're nicely positive. 0.8 almost for the NASDAQ, 0.5% for the S&P, about 0.3 right now for futures. Tracking the Dow, TSX futures here in Toronto, 0.16% to the upside. You can see cryptos, as I mentioned, at the bottom. Nice bounce back, 9% for Bitcoin right now, Ethereum 7%, crude oil 1.3% in positive territory. It is a Monday morning. Neil has taken a long weekend. Our friend Arun is in the building joining us for Monday. Neil will be back tomorrow morning. Good to see you guys. It is interesting look so far this morning. We had another tumble in Bitcoin over the weekend, but here we are right back up to basically where that sell-off started back on Friday, if you remember, around that 37,000 level.
Yes. Welcome, everybody watching. Welcome, Arun. Thank you for filling in today for Neil. It's going to be a great show. Yeah, Neil's at home taking a day off. We all need one every once in a while. Shout out to Neil. Hopefully you're just chilling out. It's Victoria Day here, Arun, in Canada. Any plans for after the show, my friend?
No. Well, yes, one. I'm going to wash my car finally. It's finally good weather, so it's about time I wash my car. Because
Do you park your car in a garage or outside?
No, I park it in the garage, but it's been a while since. It's been raining so much that I haven't really gotten a chance to wash the car. So finally today, I'm going to take the time and actually wash the car because it's long overdue.
Yeah, right now there's like a pollen madness going on around here. Like all our cars everywhere. My mother in the West End, people I know in the East End, just tons of pollen falling everywhere, but crazy. Anyways, yep, good idea to wash your car. Beautiful day today, should be. It was a scorcher on the weekend. Wow. Brett and I able to get out golfing, and yeah, thank you, Sterling Silver. Sent me messages. How was our golf? It was fantastic. Thank you, guys. We finally able to get out. That was a lot of fun. Okay, so you talked about Bitcoin. The thing about Bitcoin here is, and I have the daily chart up, it's actually, for right now, it's just one of these. Where's my roller coaster? Like, this is a daily chart, so, we've fallen from graces. We're down nearly 30,000, well, almost exactly 30,000 from the high, which is almost cut in half. So, but look, we've touched out again. I mean, whatever the bottom is here, 30,000, that's, it touches it again, basically 31. The good part is that we're holding this 30,000. The bad part is we're not breaking really above anything here. So we need to get above 45,000 before we can really start to be confident in Bitcoin. It's just been up, down, and around. If you look right now, though, like Brendan was just mentioning here, let's go to a 1 hour chart. Looks like we may start, we're just talking about tonight, so just a couple hours ago, we were down to that 31 again. Now we're bumping up to 38. So I don't know if there's been some news here or some sort of a catalyst that's caused this, but that's that's 20%. Like, that's the 30 to 38. It's a nice little 20% bounce there in just over a few hours. So a nice little bounce back in BTC and a nice bounce back in Ethereum as well. Look, the crypto game is the same, guys. You're gonna have to trust it or don't be in it. I mean, that's really the thing. There's been a lot of people taking money off lately. I think you got to stay strong with it. I haven't been putting new money to work, but I do want to see Bitcoin get above 40,000. I'd like to see Ethereum hold above 3. You an investor at all, Arun, in Bitcoin?
Not really. And, it's funny is that I actually came in this morning and Brenda was telling me, or you asked me if I was aware of all this craziness going on in Bitcoin. And I was like, no, it was all news to me because I am, it's not a space that I really pay a whole lot of attention to. I know there's people that have missed the boat. I am one of those people that was not really, when you don't really understand a certain industry, you don't, some people jump right on it. Some people kind of hesitate a little bit. I was part of that hesitation group where I was like, I don't know, let me learn more about it. And by the time you learn more about Bitcoin, it's gone. So, I mean, I'm just kind of sitting here watching all the craziness that is happening. And for all the people that have made money, good job on jumping on board. But I'm just going to see how this plays out. At some point, it's going to stabilize. I'll get a handle on everything, and then, I'll make some moves at that point. But for now, though, I'll be just watching people like Sean.
It's an interesting time, a volatile one for sure. As far as cryptos are concerned, we'll keep an eye on it today. As we said, back to that 38,000 level at this point. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Miss V.
Happy Monday, guys. We're happy to be back. Let's have a wonderful day together, and please smash the like button and subscribe to our channel. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Let's get it started, guys, with a bit of a look here at the overall market to kick things off this morning. As I mentioned, we still have some interesting names as far as earnings are concerned to come this week, including the NVIDIAs of the world coming up. I believe it's Wednesday. I'll double check on that. Salesforce as well, and Workday, all still to come this week. So still some big name tech shares to report this earnings season. As we've seen, though, anything positive, it seems, this reporting season has been sold. What do we think just generally here, guys, heading into this week?
Yeah, look, I'm excited. I mean, I'm really excited about what we're seeing right here in the pre-market. So, I mean, the NASDAQ right now bumping. We'll talk, obviously, we have someone here that trades a little bit of the market. So Arun will talk about the NASDAQ and some key levels to go, but up 0.83. That's always a fantastic sign. So to me, when you start a Monday off, remember on Friday we talked about it. Maybe I can call up a day chart here, maybe even on the ES. We basically, this is just, this is not a daily. Hold on a second. Oops, my bad. Here's daily here. I just got to switch this over. If you look, let's just call up the triple Qs because it's easy to see that on a wick here. We closed at the low. And maybe I can speak, we can jump to Arun here in a couple of seconds, but generally speaking, when a market closes on its low, like it did on Friday, I don't like that for a reopen back on Monday. Whenever markets, we were flying, we closed on the low, we closed right at the 50-period moving average. That's going to be 327. If you look at actually, let's look at the NQ because we can talk about some levels then. The NQ, come on, daily chart, let's go. So again, showing today's green, but closing right there, right at these key levels, 13,500. That's what we're going to be bouncing off of today. I'm excited for the day just because we have some names that are moving around. I'm short space, and I was just laughing in the chat because this is not in memorandum or anything of Neil why we're short. We actually like the short here. We've averaged it a bunch of times. Not taking huge positions on this name, but I'm excited for a few different reasons. Palantir wants to go. Ford should be able to go. We're going to check in on Apple this week. That's been a little bit of a lagger lately, down to 126, 127. Should be an interesting move for Apple today. Beyond Meat's making some moves, but Arun, where are we with some of these levels on the futures here? I'm kind of excited to be up 1%. However, we know that that can easily be erased.
Yeah, the futures, 0.5% on the ES, just over 3/4 on the NQ. Unfortunately, I'm still seeing this band. We're trading inside that band. I gave you guys on Friday when I came on to give you guys levels, I gave you guys 41.85 as a top end and 41. Well, I didn't give you anything to the downside. I gave you 41.85 as the top end. We respected that to the T on Friday, so that is still the level in place. If we can get above that, I think we have a chance to look at 4,200. But for now, we are trading inside this band. There's a lot of action here. So if we find a short side move or short side setup, you go for it. I've got 41.55 as well marked off out on the bottom end. So if we can find a long as well, if we can get underneath 65 and find a long setup, I'm open to taking a shot there on the long side. So you got a couple options, but again, 41.85 is the top end level. We've respected it once. It's been in play for me for over a week and change. So we're gonna be looking at that level once again. If we can get above it, we actually have a chance to get going.
All right, let's bring in Mark Roberts here from Sun Lake Strategies, get his take on brand new week, brand new Monday morning, and an interesting look as far as the markets are concerned. Good morning, Mark. Welcome back to another Monday here. It's an interesting one because it's kind of, there's a little bit of hesitation. It feels like, yes, we're higher both on the ES and the NASDAQ to start. But, what in your opinion might be driving this positivity heading into the new week?
Well, I think, first of all, more people are getting vaccinated. That's one. Two, there seems to be some understanding in the U.S. Congress on a highway bill. So that's the first of, we'll call it a mini infrastructure. Mr. Biden probably doesn't get all of what he wants. There's a global tax going on. But generally, the real fear of a heavy taxation, heavy regulated scenario seems to be abating a bit. That may be giving people some comfort, and also inflation comments coming out of China, being very strict on their producers not to be raising prices. And also, I think food prices here may start to come in some. Certainly some of the gasoline prices have started to come in a bit on roads that I've seen.
It's interesting you mentioned that. I was noticing over the weekend at the grocery store, things have changed just in the past couple of weeks. So definitely seeing higher prices kind of trickling down. We might be, a few weeks, maybe even a month behind where you are as far as the recovery is concerned. But definitely something to watch going forward. I want to explore that highway note that you mentioned a little bit here, because we've seen the price tag attached to that potential spend continue to kind of fall and fall and fall. Is there a way that we can take advantage of that as far as an opportunity in your mind in the market?
I think it's going to be a question of what the highway does, if it's just roads, if it's bridges, tunnels. Again, cement companies, probably your first thought. Second would be anything dealing with steel would be your second thought. And a third thought, probably lighting would be also another item. So that kind of breakdown is the best. As far as the stocks, there's a wide gamut. There's probably 10 or 15 names that fit the gamut. So for now, I'm just waiting and seeing what the report's going to be.
Let's go to the recovery group, as we like to call it. Let's focus specifically on retailers here, because as we mentioned, there's still a few that are coming this week with earnings, Nordstrom, a few others as well. What are you expecting as far as retailers as we head further into the summer?
Well, the XRT has had a tremendous run, which is the ETF for the retailers. I think as time goes on, it's going to be the haves and the have-nots. They'll all come in pretty good on the revenue side, pretty decent on the top line. Bottom line, I'm not so sure, but the real issue is going to be guidance going forward. It's interesting, the foot traffic has come back considerably because of a pent-up demand of people being in lockdown. But we'll have to wait and see if this really continues. It just may be I need to get out of the house versus this is a change in habit.
We've seen a lot of reports this season, especially from the tech sector, not necessarily from the retail group, but you get the top and bottom line beats, you get the guide forward that's even positive, and then they sell off the report. So it's an interesting time to try and make sense of these earnings, as we said, because of a conflict in messaging, maybe, as you said, with higher foot traffic in the retail sector. Going forward, as far as the rest of the summer, we talk about lower volumes, all the time heading into the summer season. What do you think will be the main driver here that we can kind of hang our hats on?
I would have to say the amount of cash that's on the sideline. Wealth managers, not hedge funds, but wealth managers still have a tremendous amount of cash. I think that will be used on any weakness. So you have a floor, if you will, under the market where I don't see that 10, 12% sell-off. You may get more of the 5 to 7 or 3 to 5% sell-offs in various names. But I'm looking at something like a Salesforce CRM, and you're making consistent lower highs, that concerns me. And I'm seeing a lot of that in many of the tech names.
Good morning, Mark. How are you, my friend? Thank you for coming on the show once again. I wanted to bring up one name to you here, and that was NVIDIA. A big story there, I thought, on Friday anyways. We were chasing this long pretty much all day on Friday off the split, right? 4 for 1. So NVIDIA's going to split this up. So come out at, $150. I think it's as of, we'll find out, July, some date in July there. Generally speaking, I thought that this news alone would have sent this stock to the moon here. NVIDIA's battled back nicely from 580 bottom, 575, just off its 50-day period moving average there. And now we're trying to make a move up through the 620 area. Obviously on a chart, 620 looks fantastic. If we can break that, nice to see NVIDIA up today. But again, like only up 1% into a tape that's up 0.8% here, and the ES up 0.6. Do I have this all wrong with NVIDIA? Like, I really thought that we would fly. Like, on Friday, we didn't really do anything. We gapped from 590 straight to 610 on the news, and then all day kind of just, was kind of meh. Were you expecting that, or am I just way off here thinking that this kind of a news, based on what Tesla did, based on what Apple did, I thought NVIDIA would be much higher?
I'm in the camp that says neutral at best. It's a stock I certainly want to buy on weakness well below 580. So right. I'm waiting on that. I think I get another chance sometime this summer to buy it. But you're right, it should have acted far better than it did. But again, it was going through the same process of lower highs since April 26th. Yep. And that was quite concerning. The news was good, but if this stock can't get through those highs of, let's call it, 610, 615, I think you're going to work your way back down into that 570 area.
Yeah, I guess that's where all the clumps are. I was buying more on Friday, hoping that this story would catch a little bit of fire, but not really. And I guess part of the problem here is, what do you trade in the semi sector? The sector right now, as far as semis are concerned. I guess I looked. Western Digital is looking like a little bit of a better chart than all of these names. AMD still starting to struggle as well. Western Digital, one of the only names that are up near the top here. What about a name like Netflix? There's been a lot of talk about Netflix. I don't necessarily think that this is going to be one. I mean, I was saying this could split, and that may give some sort of a boost to the stock, to the name. But this. We've talked about this a couple times here on the show, Mark. Like, since last July, like, Netflix is basically, it's been doing absolutely nothing. Is this a name that you've gotten any of your clients or any money into lately? I guess we got a short every time it pops up and go long every time we're in 470. Like, is there a trade in Netflix, or are we just leaving this alone now? I can't even think of any more catalysts for this name.
I'm leaving it alone. Long it in the $250 area. Bought it ages and ages ago. Yeah. Actually, off of my kids' recommendation, because I had hardly even understood what it was all about, but they were on top of it. But right now, I won't say it's dead money, but you're not going to make more than a quick half a dollar trade on this. So for me, I'm staying away.
All right, and one last, yeah, me too. I can't seem to find it, and I said that on Friday, that the one thing that we'd be looking for was some kind of a catalyst, and I thought maybe if they had announced a stock split, it may get people talking about Netflix again. The one name that I can't stop talking about, apparently, is Palantir. And I've been really loving, they had a horrible, it wasn't a horrible, but the reaction off earnings there, that one earning day flushed it down to 1650. And then all of a sudden, when the market opened back on May 11th, Palantir just took off, and it was up 15, 20% on that day. They signed a new deal today with something that I thought was fake, Space Force. So now Palantir making that move back up. It's getting near the 50-period moving average, and it looks like we're trying to break, Mark, this 21 2150, 22 area where we sort of bottomed out here before we actually, I'm going to consider this a flush down there on Palantir, and I'm not sure we see it again unless the market absolutely gets destroyed. Are you thinking positive thoughts on Palantir, or is this one of those names that we know it's a high growth name, but remember, they've been around 18 plus years now, so this is not one of those new companies. However, it's new to the stock market. Can I quickly, before I let you go, get any opinions on Palantir?
Yeah, it broke through that 2116 area, which was quite bullish. Long as it doesn't break 2090 on the dip,
okay,
I would go long and stay long for a trade.
Okay, I wrote down here on the infamous sticky note that we would be looking at Palantir, a good idea too, back to 2050. So I'm going to give it a little more room than that on a daily trade. But yeah, I like Palantir through there. Any names maybe that might or should be on people's radars today? You sent an absolutely amazing morning note to us talking about some of the different viruses and some different names on there. Was there one that you wanted to possibly highlight that maybe might be a good day trade or even for the week?
I think your cruise lines are going to stay in focus. I'm not long any, but I think the cruise lines, AMC, may be interesting in here. And an old tech name that I'm starting to look at again is Hewlett Packard, HPQ, IBM, Dell.
Yeah.
That whole sector ended up getting inflows of cash while the bigger growth names were seeing money coming out. So I'm still a believer that those names are strong and they should remain strong.
You know what? Actually, now that you mentioned Dell, Mark, Dell comes out with a report. I believe it's Thursday, or is it earlier in the week? They report this week, and it's going to, you know what? This 105 is going to be in jeopardy here for this high. I guess it's 104. They may take that out. The one thing about Dell, and you're going to know this because you've been around the game for a while, like we all have, I guess, here. Michael Dell can tell a good story, right? And so I think that when that comes out later on this week, I believe that will probably get this stock above 103, 104. I guess that's a break. Are you long a name like Dell now or from before, or do you wait for it to break out past this high?
I usually wait for the breakout. I like buying premium.
Right.
This way I don't sweat it on the pullbacks.
Right. Good. Love it, Mark. Couple good names there, a couple good ideas. Thank you, my friend Mark Roberts from Sun Lake Strategies. Enjoy your Monday.
Hey guys, yeah, let's talk upgrades and downgrades, a few interesting ones on here this morning. We're going to get to Beyond Meat, top of the board. In fact, there was a positive note over the weekend on EV stocks as well. We're going to talk about, not on here, but HP, Foot Locker, T-Mobile on this side, Dollar General, Campbell's, Mosaic, and this Apollo to the downside. But Beyond Meat, interesting so far this morning, guys, in the pre-market.
Yeah, well, Beyond Meat got a new, was it a deal with somebody, some European company there and upgrades? So, look, I've been liking Beyond Meat for a while, as we're hoping right now. So right now we're in two positions. Palantir already long, 21.19. I would have loved to have been long earlier, and I'll talk about why I wasn't. And it has nothing to do with the Steve Carell show. And thank you for Arun and everybody bring this up, because I thought Space Force was not a real thing, but apparently it is, and Palantir signs a deal with them. I'm just joking. I knew that that former President Trump was talking about Space Force there, but I thought that was pretty unique. Okay, so Beyond Meat coils up here, and I don't know, Arun, if you have a Beyond Meat chart up here, but to me, this looks like a decent bottom here. We've already made it once back here at 107. It got absolutely clobbered recently. It basically touched out at 100. I mean, if you don't get a better sign than 100 even, it's kind of like that $1,000 level on Tesla, things like that. When those want to break or hold, they're generally good bouncing spots. But for me today on Beyond Meat, I really like this name on a one daily chart. Like, what is this level here? 112.60. So we're getting, wow, I may have to add this one to the board here. 112.60 there on a daily break right there on some upgrades and some decent news. Were you able to look at Beyond Meat yet there?
Yeah, I did. And you know, what's funny is I have the exact same level. I have 112.50 marked off. That for daily, you go back to the 10th, 7th, 10th, or even the 12th of May, and you get this action around that 112. You give it an extra little bit of space to get that confirmation in terms of breaking out. 112.50, Sean's got 10 cents a little bit higher from me, and we're both looking at the same thing. Around 112 seems like there's a lot of action, so if you get above it, you get that breakout. And right now, we're sitting at 110, we're sitting comfortably above 110, so if we can actually keep on going and get that breakout, you might actually have a quite the extension here towards 116, 118. So keep an eye on that definitely for the rest of the day, but it is setting up like it can actually get something going here.
All right, guys, we'll continue along here, jump into what is moving around in the pre-market. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you take a second and register for our absolutely free watch list. Miss V will help you out with the link in the chat if you do need it. The first one we're going to jump into here, Virgin Galactic with a big move, as we mentioned this morning, already up 20 and change % at this point after a successful initial manned test flight over the weekend on Saturday to, I guess, orbit, not necessarily space, but orbit, and came back down. So a nice look here for space, guys, but is this too much? I mean, this stock is a little bit overdone, I think, either direction at this point.
Yeah, my humble opinion, yes. I am short this name. We've shorted it a couple times up here. The reason why, remember we came in on Monday, today's Monday, hi, I'm Sean. We came in on Friday and the stock was up huge. Remember we closed around, I mean, this is a 10-minute chart, so we closed around $17 there on Thursday. We came in on Friday, it bumped up to $21.50, and then it just crashed down to 19 again. Same thing I feel like is going to be happening today, a big move up. Is that worth another 20%? I mean, you know, this stock, every day, look, opens up high, crashes back down to 15. I mean, some of these days are anomaly days, but I believe this is worth a crash to the downside. This is a 10-minute chart. Let's wait to see. And what I mean by crash is kind of like a flush, I should say, not a crash. Like a crash would, you know, this stock is going to fall. I think that this just gets wiped out a little bit. People step in here, take some profit. Look at the run this has been on. Like we just touched, I just showed you 3 or 4 days ago, $14, $15, $16, right? Then you get the bump, you get the bump, and you get the bump again. So this is an opportunity, in my opinion, right now. We're above the 50-day moving average. I've liked the stock down here, but I never stepped into it. I've been buying other names. You guys know that one. Some of those names that I've been looking at. So for me, it's above the 50 period. I think it comes back below this. This news is great news. Don't get me wrong. Like for everybody that wants to eventually go into space, fine. But I just think this is way overdone. The market's heated up today. If there's going to be a name short that I like the most, it's going to be Virgin Galactic. I've already talked about that. It's on the sticky note here, short into 26. I kind of changed that to 26.50. If you look at a 20-minute chart here, and I'm going to throw it over to you in a second here, Arun. I don't know if you're in this trade yet, but 26.50 right there was the high. So this morning we have a high of 26.50. I believe we can hold it against that. If it wants to take out the high, so be it, man. We'll be out and it'll be a loser. There's no doubt about that. But I'm thinking that this can fade back in and we retest at least 24.50, maybe even a bit lower. I'm going to get some out at 25 if we're able to come back down. So that'd be a 20-cent winner. So we're waiting for that. But right now we're flat. It's bounced around. If you're ultra conservative, you have 25.50 that you can get out of. But let's try to make some money today and hold space to the short side.
Yeah, you know, Sean, I kind of agree with you on that. But I'm going to wait till the open to make that decision. The reason being is, regardless of what it does in the pre-market, all the majority of the volume comes in aftermarket, or not aftermarket, after the market opens, right? So if you get a flush of, or a huge amount of buying that comes in after the market open and they want to take it up, it's going to go right through all these levels that we've got marked off in the pre-market. So I'm keeping an eye on 27, but if it slows down after the market opens, I think then you come in on the short side because there's not enough to push it through. But for now, I'm going to keep an eye on 27, see if we get, what kind of action we get at the open. If we get enough to actually break through, then we go long. If we get enough action that goes high but doesn't actually carry forward or doesn't get strong enough buy-side momentum, then you fade it, you short, and you look for the downside move. Two trades potentially around that 27 area.
All right, guys, let's maybe check out the futures if you want here, Arun. It is about that time.
Yeah.
We are positive overall on the session. What do we need to be aware of here? I mean, 0.5% coming off of Friday's move. Interesting look to start the week.
Yeah, 0.5%, but again, like I said, we're kind of stuck in that range, right? I gave you guys 85 on Friday. 85 is still the level for today. We're at 75 right now, so 41.75. We're 10 points away from the level I had marked off for over a week or so to get some action going, to get some breakout potential. So I'm going to keep 41.85 marked off as the top end here. I'll just draw it now. So you see that, that's my 85. Again, I've zoomed out on the chart so much where I don't really care for the individual candles themselves. I care for the structure of the market. That's kind of what I base my trades on. So 41.85, I've had marked off. I'm also going to go ahead and mark off 41.55 as well for potential support. So anything below 65, 41.65, look for some longs here. Anything we get into the 80s and then start to fade, then you look at the short. But again, it's got to be a setup because the momentum is upside. NASDAQ is up, so tech is up. You got ES overnight, we're kind of carrying some upside bias here. So if we get through that 85, you get that breakout. But if you do want to go for the short, just be careful that you get the proper setup. I mean, you'll see me take the trade. If I get the setup, I'll let you guys know that I'm going to be going short as well. But for now, we're kind of stuck in that range. I want to see something happen below 65 or at least above 80 to make a decision on what I want to do. But for now, it does look like the bias is to the buy side.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the futures there, that was a good call. I mean, I'm looking at right now at what crypto's trying to do, and we've put on Maggie on the front here to try to figure out what the hell's going on with Bitcoin. Like even people in some of the chats here talking about this move back up. Like this has been 34.2 there. It's just straight. Like this is just a 1 minute chart. We broke. We've just nicely heading higher. I just wonder if this is just a start of a week. Like I'm not able to really find anything. I mean, it's hard to search up why Bitcoin's moving. There's so much out there, but it looks like it is moving. Nice little stop out there at 38.6. So we'll wait to see if it takes out. I mean, if Bitcoin could take out 40,000 here in the middle of the show, then we will have to look at some names like Mara, Riot, SOS, SI. Things like that. Okay, someone in the chat, Good, Bad, Ugly Trades, I think it was, I'm not sure, brought up a very, very good stock, and it made me think about the imbalance locator. So right now, Space, we still have 30 minutes to go. Space, AMC, QS, they're all on here. There's CCL. Mark talked a little bit about some cruise lines, so they're there as well. But look at this Macy's on a daily chart. Thank you for bringing this up. This is exactly the kind of charting that I like when we see this on the daily chart right here. If we break this 1775 here on Macy's, guys, I think we're coming to the downside pretty good. So let's wait to see what Macy's has in store for us. But it's already had its big run. Retail's had a big run. We know that. They reported already. Macy's could get hit here down through 1775. Here's a 20-minute chart as well. Look at this level. This is at 7. I mean, it's right here. 1775. So I'm liking this level. Thanks for bringing that up. That's going to be, it's actually now that, oh yeah, that is 1775. Sorry, that's the moving 200 period is 18 even. So I like that trend. I'm adding that one to the board, guys. Sticky note alert. 1775 on Macy's being added.
All right, let's continue along here as we make our way through what is moving around. We saw Palantir talked about there a little bit with Mark Roberts. Let's have a look at the chart, guys, figure out what we're going to do with this today. It's not a huge move, but a little bit of a headline there. Space Force. They already had a deal with Space Force. Apparently, they're expanding the deal with Space Force. Maybe we can just try and say Space Force as many times as we can today.
Well, this is Sean's favorite stock. Well, we're going to give him some extra time after I go here because he's got a lot to say about his stock here. Because I was trading it on Friday, or the last time I was in, and I was surprised that apparently he's been trading it every single day, and that's his favorite thing. So we're going to give him more time. I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick here. We're kind of just breaking out here above 21, but you got to understand that towards 2150, this is a 30-minute chart, by the way. And again, like I said, structure. I don't care about the individual candles just yet, just to see the action. But I want to see how this is going to play out. 2150 seems like there's a little bit of resistance here, so that's what you have to keep an eye on there. But right now, we're at 2128. We're only 22 cents, 23 cents away from getting to that 50 mark. It is a zone, so it's not exactly hard level at 50. So understand that there's going to be some flexibility up there. So if you look for the breakout, you got to understand that, well, you're going to run into a problem here, then it looks like you're going to run into another problem around 2250. So the way I'm seeing it, it seems like if you can get the right risk-reward ratios, and that's got to be like really good depending on where your stop is, because I'm not sure I can take 50 cents to get 50 cents or take a 50-cent risk to get 50 cents. So I'm going to stay away from this. We're going to let Sean trade it because he knows how this stock moves and he knows what exactly to do. So what do we do, Sean, with this?
That's such a little bit of pressure there. I know exactly what to do with it. I know I want to be long Palantir, and I have been shorting it recently. You guys know that as well. We've been talking about weakness into the NASDAQ, but that reversed not too long ago. Palantir's been a very, very strong stock the last couple of days. That's why we talked about that with Mark Roberts. Ever since we got that flush here off earnings, this was that day. It was just cruising. Didn't do much pre-earnings on the 10th. Then all of a sudden that report comes out and it's like, uh-oh, we're dead in the water, guys. Like 1850 down to 1650. We had this exact long. We were long 1660 down here. So bang to the upside. I put some more in my account once we broke through this 1850 level. It was this day here, the second day after. And then normally, guys, so this is the first day, second day, third day. Normally we look to buy stock on the third day. That's where we bought it at that 1850. And then ever since then, bang, up, 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 right? Nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, up today. So the NASDAQ has been holding up, and Palantir's tried to get going. It's bounced off its 200 period moving average. Now we're above the 50, the VWAP on the 20 minute. And yeah, I agree with Arun wholeheartedly though. This 2150 may be a problem. It was super excited here off this 18 and 1650 bottom, stopped at 2150, then fell back to 21. As long as the NASDAQ remains high, then I'm a bull on this name. But we have to watch out for it coming back to 2050. So this level is pretty key here, 2050 on Palantir. We'll wait to see. I'm long into that level. And then probably we're going to get real, this could be a real bad day if Palantir really wants to fall down. But I'm going to hold this thing back to 20. I'm going to try to give this one some room to see if we can break through 2150. We started the trade late today. There's no doubt about that. Like, we started this trade late. We would have normally been long in here. But when I was making my notes, we were looking for a pullback into this area. It ended on its lows on Friday, so that wasn't a good thing, down to 2060, 2070. I do expect a pullback in Palantir, and when that does happen, I want to have enough to buy. So 2050, that was the bottom there, early, as early as the very first print, basically, on Friday. So if that dips down again, let's just imagine something like this happens. So where do we get it then? We're going to get it long at 21, then we can maybe get a 2075. If you're super conservative, get some out at 2050, like I'll probably do, and then let the rest ride upside. So look, I'm excited for Palantir today. I think it's good. We're in the money 7 pennies, but we are going to get some out if we approach that 2150, and then we'll play off a long from there. But so far, so good on Palantir. I like it, and we'll see how many times we can say Palantir today.
All right, laser popping up here again, guys. Luminar Technologies. There's rumors floating around that that picture, if I go back to Thursday, remember Thursday this happened, that picture that was floating around on the internet of Tesla Model Y using a LiDAR sensor. Apparently that was one of Luminar's sensors. So here we go again. LAZR, big move here, was 13%, tag 25 at the top there. One to watch coming up this morning if we continue to see some volume going through. Let's talk about Ford. Ford also, speaking of EV world, expanding their F-150, electric F-150 lineup with the Pro version aimed at contractors, apparently, for this new Lightning, guys.
Yeah, hey, what's up, Randy? We've been talking, I've been banging the table literally on Ford since $6, $7, $8. So I hope that everyone's enjoyed the ride so far. And there it is. We just took out 1350 on Friday. That was a big level for us. We were hammering this thing long. We've been buying dips into Ford as much as we can. We've been buying dips so much that when I miss them, I get basically shit for it on the chat, because that's been our MO, what we've been doing with Ford lately. That Lightning truck, the Lightning electric pickup truck, the Lightning Pro for F-150, seems like they're going to be selling those things out. So we'll wait to see where Ford wants to go from here. But again, they're still battling that chip shortage. So I don't know if they're going to have enough cars produced, or trucks, I guess, produced for their next quarter to be really as phenomenal as this run means. 12% last week, guys, from a bottom of basically, 12, basically a 12 bottom there last week, if not 1180. I mean, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I guess this starting from here. 1180 last week, all the way up to 1340. You don't generally get those kind of moves with Ford, but what I think is happening, people are rotating from EV names. We've seen those. We'll talk about NIO. Into Ford and into some of those other names like a GM, maybe even into Tesla. We'll look at Tesla again. So I'm long Ford, guys, into this level here. Let's see if it holds 1325. I love the 25s. I love the even dollars. With the S&P going, we could see, I mean, that's an even quarter. I mean, I trade quarters, 50s, 75s, and even. So we could trade it back to here. That's sort of the little bit of a get up spot where we dropped down to and held on Friday. So we'll see if Ford can hold 1325 again. If it doesn't, then 13 is probably coming, and that's another spot. So I like 1325. Before I throw to Arun quickly, what is up with the imbalance locator? Nothing. Only getting squeezed right now on space. We're out of the money on 40 cents there for space, but we'll talk about that when we get back. Any thoughts on Ford, Arun?
Yeah. Did you say you're going to use 1325 as a stop?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm actually looking at that area for potential support to get some longs here.
Yeah,
I wanted to use 13 even as a stop. Just to give it that round number, I figured at this point, the way it moved on Friday, you would see this consolidation around 1280 and then it kind of went right through 13. And then we're getting some action above 1320. So I'm thinking 1320 going back down to 13 even would be the stop. So if we can get into there, and I remember Ford, because again, Ford is, there's some stocks that you kind of just like, they get pushed to the side because they've been around for so long and they trade at certain price bands. AT&T is one of them. They were quite the mover. That's another one I have on my radar. Ford is one of those stocks because of the way it's been moving in the last little bit, as long as you've been trading. So again, 1325, 13 even is a stop. That's where I'm looking for potential trades. See if we can't catch something and actually trade this thing, because I don't think I've traded Ford in over 10 years. So it's about time to step back in and see if we can make some money on Ford.
All right, let's go on to crypto land here. I just saw the MicroStrategy chairman, CEO, was on that other channel talking about Bitcoin finally, guys, coming to life. That was the quote that they took from that interview. So he was saying, again, crypto coming to life, which is, I guess, putting it mildly. But yeah, big bounce back here this morning for Bitcoin prices. That has this entire group looking pretty positive here, including MicroStrategy's higher, but Coinbase also getting a little bit of attention here, up about 2.5%.
Yeah, good call. We could definitely look at Coinbase. Like, I hate when people say that, like finally starting to get going and getting some attention, all that. Like, where have you been, man? Bitcoin's been on everyone's mind and talking. I mean, when you're MicroStrategy, I guess you might as well talk up the only thing that you have, which is Bitcoin. I think they, what was it? They just bought 19,000 or 92,000 coins. Something crazy. I want to look at GBTC again. This is the grayscale product for, there's also ETHE. This is the Bitcoin product. Look what happened on Friday, like $35. Let's call it 34. Yeah, I mean 34.70 basically in a straight line. Let's just say it never stopped, pretty much all the way down to $30. So that's like a a haircut of 15% or so in GBTC. So we're gonna look for that one to bounce back here today. If you're looking at some key levels, it trades actually quite well. I mean, a lot of this is going to follow. It doesn't follow exactly that of crypto, but it's pretty damn close. So we'll watch to see if it does, if crypto does come back down, watch out for this 28 bottom. But with the move happening today, again, we don't print pre-market trades on this name, so it's going to look a little silly for now. But on the way back up, GBTC is definitely the leader in the pink sheets over there on volume, or you can look at ETHE if you want to trade it directly. And I always talk about the Purpose ETF as well over here in Canada. Let's quickly look at Mara. They should be bouncing back today, up that 3%. Right now, Bitcoin, what are we at now? 38. So a nice move since where we were on Friday. So we'll see if it wants to bounce back up again. Mara, this is a one-day chart. I don't really know what's happening, but if you look at what Bitcoin's been doing, like here, this is giving me a little bit better relief here for some of these names. I know I've been sort of not trash talking, but saying that why would you get involved with Mara or Riot or anything when you could just buy, the physical? But it's actually been moving quite well. If you look at it, there's a dip down from May 11th. You're going to see here's May 11th as well, dipping down in. And then now you have some consolidation here and some consolidation here in Bitcoin. So if this takes out 40,000, I definitely look for Mara to take out this 26.5. So we're still a while away from that, but actually maybe this 24.5 here is more appropriate with 40,000. So if Bitcoin to take out 40,000, watch out for a 25 break in Mara. We're really, really low right now. So it's just a lot of these stocks can probably be bought if you are a bull in the crypto space. But again, I just like to buy, the physical. So I have been buying some more. I bought some more Matic. I haven't bought any more ADA, and I'm looking to buy Ethereum rather than Bitcoin. So that's where I'm looking, but I would rather trade the actual coin themselves than some of these equities.
Yeah, for me, coin, I'm looking, I zoom out on coin here. It's a 5-minute chart zoomed out. What do you see? I see 240 as the level of interest. That seems to be huge, right? We spent a lot of time on the 17th, the 18th, and the highs on the 20th and the 21st, all around 240. So I think if you're going to look for at least somewhat of a not long term, but like somewhat of a major key area to run around, you can look at 240. If you want to take a short around to the high 230s, maybe 236, 237, look for a 240 stop. Then you flip the trade if you want. Then you can go towards 250. So there's a lot you can do with 240 as a potential. But that's, again, the way it's moving, it does look like 240 is going to hold and you look for the short. That's probably the better play. If we can get that up there, again, it's $11 away and it's pretty aggressive. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. But again, it's not high priority for me if we can get going on that. The other one, MDRR, somebody in this wanted a super chat on, or there was a super chat talking about MDRR. 150 break, I see what you're looking at, but you got to understand at $1.50, the upside potential on something like this is going to be about 10 cents before you run into resistance. You see this 150 break, yeah, then you get a ton of action around 160. So if you're okay risking 10 cents to get 10 cents, potentially, if you get that explosion of surprise news, then obviously you got a great trade. But for now, just understand that if you take the 150 break, you're running right into the 160. So just make sure your risk-reward ratios are good. Depending on where you're putting the risk, just understand that you're going to be running to resistance. At least if you don't get the news, you're going to run into resistance. If you get the news, obviously going to blow right through it. But just be aware that 160 is going to be a problem for the long term if you do decide to go long around 150.
All right, AMC's next here. We had AMC on the list back on Friday, if you remember, a big move down after China's Wanda Group, which is the second largest shareholder in AMC, sold 30 million, more than 30 million shares of their current holding. So that sent this thing tumbling on Friday, but we're right back up here. I mean, it wasn't tumbling, but it was down on the day. 2.5% here so far, guys, and being bought also on that imbalance locator so far.
Yeah, you know what? I was just looking. I thought I had some bids for AMC again. AMC is right here. It's on the sticky note. We've tweeted that out already. 12. Will 12 hold? It's right there, right in the middle. Forget about WandaVision there selling all of their shares. We'll see if it can come back, pull back into $12 here. I spoke to Vision, and he thinks that AMC needs to be bought. So let's wait to see here what happens. 12's held. It's held. It's held. It's held. You do have, look, whether or not you like AMC or not, I believe it is going to be a reopening play, and I believe this 12 area is pretty strong. Look, right at the close there, obviously we had, this is a 1 minute chart, it's not the very close, but just a couple minutes before, we came down to 12 and it was bought back up. That's the big volume spike right there at the close, and it's not the closing print, it's a couple prints before. It was actually bigger than the closing print, so that's always nice to see that. So I think that it held this 12, so that's why I was surprised they don't have any orders back to 12. I'm going to put some orders back here 12 and see what happens. The 1 minute range today so far, it's not been great. I mean, the pre-market range hasn't really been great. We've dipped down, but it's not running. It's not doing a whole hell of a lot. So if we zoom back out to see what happened on Friday, always I look at 50, right? So 12.50 right there, a good little spot. That could be a nice short as well, but let's just wait to see. I think Arun talked about, I think it was Beyond Meat or something. We wanted to wait to see what was going to happen in the market. No, it was Space. Arun was going to wait to see. And I think you might not have the same decision here with AMC. If it runs up, man, and we test this 1280 and we miss it, then we miss it. It is what it is. But ultimately, we're looking to see AMC back down to 12. I'm going to put some bids there. I think this is worth a big long into 12, because then you have, and this is the thing, Arun, you do this on the futures all the time because you have to. If you don't have your areas of where you want to get in, and then also an area of where you want to get out, you're not going to be able to win this game. So I believe take a long here, 12 teens something, and then you have your out back at 12. So to me, the risk reward is well worth it. Brendan, you mentioned also the locator. That's the TSX. We don't have to worry about that. There's AMC and Space. Space came right back in for me, man. I wish I would have shorted more up there, but there's AMC. It's small, though, only 400,000. You in that trade yet, Arun, on anything yet?
On AMC?
Yeah.
Or just in general?
Well, AMC. No.
AMC, I'm looking at 13. If we can get 13 broken, I think you get the multi-day breakout at least towards 14 in that case. Again, if you wanted to pick up some longs around 12, I can see what Sean's talking about as well, but my concern with 12 exactly or around that even number is if you go back to the 13th, May 13th, there's a lot of back and forth around that 12, which makes me wonder how much volume is sitting around there. So it might not be a clean level to work with. So when I decide to work with certain levels, I like clean levels, meaning we got there, backed off, and we know there's some volume stuck there. But when you get a lot of back and forth around that area, it makes me think that there's a lot more movement around there. So I would say 1150 is a level I'd work with if you're going to find some longs around the low 12s, or you can look for the breakout around 13. But 13 or 1150, those are the two areas I'll keep an eye on AMC. I know a lot of people like obviously the upside of AMC, so 13 would be the key breakout if you want to do that.
All right, nice look here for Beyond Meat in the pre-market, breaking out as we speak, in fact, to the upside. Jefferies and Bernstein analysts coming out with upgrades on this stock this morning. The Jefferies one was a double upgrade, so very positive on this so far. BYND, guys, up 5% here in the pre-market.
Beyond Meat, okay, let's fire off some fake hot dogs here for Beyond Meat holders because you do get a nice little bump up today. I've been pumping the tires for Beyond Meat for a little while. I'm not in it, should have been in this thing at this 100 spot. We talked about that at the early, the start of the show there, that what a great opportunity this is going to be to go long and shoot. Oh, man, we're almost in it. Okay, so I'm going to take a small position. I don't like the spread here, obviously, but I do like that. We talked about a level here that we like, and it was 1261. So let me just find out why that was. It was on this 20-period moving average, and Arun and I actually...
Multi-day breakout. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah, it was the daily chart. Yeah, you're right, Arun. Sorry, my bad. Right here, yeah, so there it is right there. Good. Whoops, where did my chart go? We'll call this on the day chart. It's going to be hard to see on this one, but the other one was better. Here's 112 right here. So 112.50, 112.60. We're bumping up that right now. This bottom, 114. So we may get up to 114 on this break. I think we can get a lot higher. It's good news, and it's a good little breakout there for Beyond Meat. So I already put the order in to go long through 112.60 there. Nothing really to do with the daily chart. We're already taking off. If we're wrong, where are we going to be wrong back till? Maybe 109. Maybe we had some consolidation back to 109 the other day. So I'm gonna take a 112. And we're gonna try to hold this one for a little bit longer than we normally do. Buy it back into 110 if there's any problems. But I like a Beyond Meat break, and I think it's about time. It's done. I mean, look, this is up 15% from its bottoms, or I guess 13% from its bottoms just last week. So I like Beyond Meat here on a battle back, especially if the NASDAQ wants to go. I like the name.
Yeah, and I agree with him. 100%, 112.50 breakout. You set the order. So some trades you want to see what happens after it gets past certain levels. This is one of those trades I'm willing to step in right as soon as it breaks. I'm willing to cross in, get some shares, and use 110 as my stop. So $2.50 or so is what I would risk on this trade. See if we can get a breakout. I think this thing can go into the high teens here, 17, 18. We can get quite the movement. We have a ton of space to do it. So if we can just get going, and the futures, well, now it's coming off, but it did have some momentum. Like I said, the bias is to the upside on the futures as well, which helps. Broad market kind of pushes everything up, and then you get these strong stocks that go with it, which go up even faster. So that's the direction I'd go with. Apple, I've picked up some trades here in front of 126. I'm risking about $1, just underneath 125 here. There's a decent amount of consolidation from Friday afternoon, so I'm going to see if I can pick up some strength here and get that breakout towards 126.50 and then into the 127s. That's the goal here. Risking about $1. Looking for $1 at least at 127, but again, the key here is the 126.50. The reason I'm doing it now and not waiting for the 126.50 is risk profile, because I've already identified the risk profile. I know I can risk $1. I'm okay with that. So I'd rather do it now while I've got support and look for that breakout to the upside towards 127.
All right, there was some EV stocks moving around in the pre-market here, so we put the entire group kind of on alert as far as Catalyst goes. Wedbush, analyst, out with a note over the weekend talking about the possibility of, what do they call it again, a green tidal wave to come still as far as EV companies are concerned. They specifically kind of pulled out QuantumScape and Tesla as pure plays, but then there's also the Chinese names as well, NIO, Li Auto, XPEV as well, all pretty actively traded here in the pre-market, guys. I did see that QS has since gone negative, however.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, that's not good. I saw that for QS as well. What are we going to do with Beyond Meat here? Do we just take the quick win? We're long at 112.74. It's printing 113.40s right now. So let's see if it goes upside. We are long Beyond Meat. We'll see if we can take off a smooth $1 out of this trade quickly here if it wants to go. Okay, so that's Beyond Meat. I just want to give you guys an indicator that we are now into another position. Beyond Meat long, Palantir long, Space short, nothing in trouble as of yet. The big play that I like here is a NIO break of 35.60. You can look at a 3-minute chart. It's the high there, basically on Friday, 34.60. Break on NIO. I think that's a go. It's my #1 trade here on the sticky note there with the stars right where my finger is. NIO 34.60. I like that break. It's been pretty strong here the last couple of days. We can actually, let's look at a daily chart for that one. Here it is here, bouncing off these bottoms, up, up, up and away. So we'll see if it can take it out. Here's 35. 35. So take out 34.60, then we go to 35, then we can see what happens at 35.70, maybe $36. So I like NEO. I think it's going to be strong into today's trade. Just checking back here. There's QS, Brennan, a sell. So I don't know. I mean, I hate when companies come out with these upgrades and say like green wave coming. It just means they're long all these stocks off some of the bottoms. Some of these bottoms have been absolutely fantastic. Check out XL Fleet. Check out Fisker. Fisker's starting to get some bids to it as well. We did get a super chat. I'm obviously not going to sit here and ignore them because I missed it, and I apologize, Mike. What about Rolls-Royce? I don't know if there's any sort of news on this. I don't think there is, but if you're going to look at a name that's kind of holding up, you know, since December, guys, like 150. If you look at a lot of EV names, now we'll see Rolls-Royce obviously is going to get into the game here, but you know, it's off this bottom, Mike. So I don't know what to tell you. We're going to be at 140 today. You're going to see here this 130 bottom. I think this is worth a long. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pump it up. I don't know anything about the stock. I know about it, but I don't know. I think you need a news catalyst. We've been talking about this. Ford's got it. I knew the Lightning was going to pick up with the F-150s, so that makes sense to me. I don't know enough about Rolls-Royce because, you know, my driver's the one in charge of the car, so.
Yeah, NEO, right? Consolidation. Look at the amount of action we're getting around this 13 quarter mark here. You go back to the 20th, a ton of action around 34.40. Around yesterday or Friday, we got a lot of action between 10 and 40 and 50 actually. So there's a ton of congestion here. So I'm going to stay away from NEO. I am trying to get that trade on Beyond Meat. It kind of moved before I even was able to throw my orders out to get some shares. Sean's got them. I'm still waiting. I've got a bid here. You can see my line waiting here, just about 50, trying to get some shares here if we can't jump into this. So Beyond Meat, that's the only trade I've got. Well, Apple I've got already. Beyond Meat's the only order I've got waiting to get filled. But apart from that, there's not a whole lot else you can do here. Futures, let's just take a quick look at the futures before we go back over to Brendan. Futures, again, stalling around 75 inside that zone. 85 is the top end. If we can get a stall here, maybe a short, but again, we do have to keep an eye on 85 and 55, see which direction we want to go with. We need the proper setup, and right now we're not getting a whole lot to work with. You can see the candles. That's not a whole lot to work with. So we're just going to wait and see if we can't get something after the open. In the meantime, I am hoping to get this Beyond Meat fill and join Sean on this run because it's at 113.30 now. So I'm sure Sean's taking profit. In the meantime, we'll go to Brendan here. What's up, Brendan?
All right, a couple minutes left, guys. Let's have a look at Crex here. Just caution on this. It's a microcap, 9 million share float. So very, very small company, but they posted, you can see back on Friday, I believe it was, huge volume came in. They posted an unexpected, better than expected earnings was the news aftermarket here. So a pop up. So we're higher than that in the pre-market. The top of this was 165, 170. It's already supported that a couple of times. So watch that. And then above that, I'm not terribly interested until way up here, 225, which is this area. If you go out to a daily chart, and then 240 above that for CREX, guys.
Okay, so Arun said we're thinking about taking profits. We should. I mean, you know what, Arun? We probably should, man. We're in the money 75 cents, but I'm going to get a little greedy here with Beyond Meat. So we are in the money 75 cents, so we'll do a little bit of a backflip for now because we could just take out the offer or the bid, sorry, and get out, right? But we are printing these 50. That's that 75 cents. We're going to wait to see if we get a little more than this. My target, I just put it there out on Twitter. 115 is going to be the target on this one. And if you just look at the daily chart here again, you know, we're well above this now. So let's see if we can't play in between 120 and 110 a little bit. We did top off at 117 last time. So we'll wait to see for Beyond Meat right now. Other names that we're in, obviously, there goes Beyond Meat right now. So there's $1 plus now in the money. And that's the thing, man. Like when we, you know, talked about this breaking out, both Arun and I identified that multi-day break. So there it is, man. You got to take it. The spread was too much when we took it, but hey, it's tightening up now as this thing wants to run. We're waiting for $1 higher to get out of half, and then we'll wait to see what happens to the rest. Palantir back in. We just got the bid that we wanted, right? And so there it is. So now our long is 2106. Remember where we're playing this thing to? Back to 2050, right? We put that on our sticky note back to 2050. So we're going to try to play that. So we have bids lower, lower, lower into 2050. Try to give it that room. I mean, if Palantir wants to fall off, it'll give us that idea real quick, guys, because the market's up today And if Palantir wants to give back some of this off that Space Force contract, I can't keep on smiling about that. I'm hella long Palantir, but it's in my longer term account. I don't have any, recent expectations for this thing, but I do think we should get back to days high. So right now we're long at 06, so that should be a good one. And then the last thing to wrap it up, Arun, before, I don't know if you want to talk any of your positions, we're 27 cents out right now on Space, the final frontier. We're going to get out if it breaks through 26.50. So should be a fun one. We're also waiting for NEO to take off.
Yeah, the trade I'm looking at here, stock I'm looking at that just started moving. For you guys, anyone at home that actually wants to take a short side move, it looks like coin is starting to break to a 228. It's at 227.50 now and starting to move fast to the downside. So you have support all the way down to 224. Yeah. So maybe you might be able to, depending on, again, it depends on your risk, right? If you decide to put up $2-3 in risk, you can get $2-3 immediately. Given where the support is. We're going to open in about 30 seconds or so.
Look at Beyond Meat here. Guys.
Yeah, and Beyond Meat is at 114, and you can see my order is waiting here, and Sean's already making a ton of money. So I'll be waiting for that, and I've also got Apple in the meantime. But in about 5 seconds, I'm going to hit the countdown, and we're going to get going.
Arun's got it. There you go.
Did I get it?
There you go. You got it. Dad. All right. Who's on the bell today? Let's see. It's over there. It's Miss V. What up, Miss V? We're getting ready to hear this happy Victoria Day for all the Canadians out there. Let's rock and roll. Hit that bell, V. We are now open. So here it goes. Let's rock and roll and see where we get going here with Beyond Meat. New position alert. Ford just came in. So we waited for the dip buy in Ford. We did talk about getting some longer positions in Ford back to 13.25. Let's wait to see what happens. Beyond Meat. Here it goes. Let's go, baby. One more tick up, and we down. Bang! $2 winner to start the day. That's a good one. It's a backflip kind of day. Let's go. Space also, Arun, coming back in. Let's go.
Yeah, Space. Well, good trade on there.
Space.
Yeah, you know what? One trade I want to get into is BABA here. BABA looks like it just broke that through that 210 mark. I'm just going to send an order in, see if it can get some shares around just in front. I've got an offer here just in front of 80 here. I'm looking for that 210 break and using 211.50 as my stop on the breakdown here on BABA. Another one I've got up is Adobe, ADBE. I've got, actually no, never mind. There was an issue with the alert system on that. It was just a tick that kind of triggered that move. Again, I'm waiting for a BABA on the long side. I've pulled my order in BYND. This is, I'm gonna have to wait for it to slow down a little bit before I kind of step back into this. And I've got my, Apple? I've got my Apple long at 126 with the 125 stop. For now, those three positions, or those three orders that are waiting, and hopefully BYND can come down, slow down, go up, slow down, so I can get my fill just in front of 112.50 on Beyond Meat.
Yeah, so Beyond Meat, we already took that out. That was a good out for us, man, down there at Beyond Meat. Like, we took that out right away. Told you this could happen to this name. So we actually got out of 2/3 there at 15. And not only that, guys, like if you want to talk about something here, we just put that on. Does Neil have the day off? Yes, he does. What's up to Neil? I actually added to this tweet here, and we talked about getting out of Beyond Meat at 115 there. So if you want to watch this trade, there it is right there. 112 target, 115. We gone. There's the 115 out right there. Can't get any better than that one. Oh, yeah, and by the way, bang again on Beyond Space. Look at this stock, just absolutely tank city right here, Arun. We're in the money 50 cents. Space has just gone ding, 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 all the way downside. That must mean a keystroke here, down through 24.50. But we are short Space, and it's a big winner. The one thing we're not winning on right now is Ford, as that's cracking through 13. This name gave back everything it made last week, guys. Ford cracking through 13. This is a bad spot for it.
Yeah, the one trade I've got is the one winner I've got here, long, 126.03 on Apple, and it's about 20 cents in the money. Again, we're looking for this breakthrough, 125 and change, so we can get towards 127. I'm risking about $1. I'm looking to get $1 into the 127s, but key area for me is 126.50. If we can get through this, we can get going on that trade. I've pulled the order on Beyond Meat, like I said. The other one I'm waiting for, where is it? Not Adobe. BABA. I'm still got the offer on BABA, but I'm not. I mean, it kind of, you saw this thing here. It just kind of went right through 209. I'm still waiting for the short in front of 210. I like the multi-day short here. You see this breakout through 210. It's been setting up for a while now. If we can just get this thing, get this fill, then we can actually get going on that. But in the meantime, futures starting to move up. Beyond Meat taking off again towards 116. At this point, there's no way I can even justify trying to get into this trade. I missed the trade. It's gone. Let Sean make all the money, and I'll just sit here and watch him do it. In the meantime, though, Apple and the futures, that's all I've got. We're getting closer and closer towards that, towards the 85 level on the futures here. See if we can't get a trade on the futures breakout. You see this here. we're sitting at 80. And again, 85 is the mark. If we can get above there, we get a not multi-day, but it's a key area that's been going on for a week or so, just over a week or so. See if we can't get that breakout. And that's the upside trade I've got. And I will go ahead. Oh, I've got my BABA short. It just came in here. I've got BABA shorts at 209.78. So that's already 25 cents in the money, 30 cents in the money. So looks like the price was great, 50 cents in the money. So it's coming right back through. There we go. But again, this is a multi-day short, so I'm not going to be happy. 50 cents is great, but I'm not risking 50 cents. I'm risking $1.50 and change. So I'm going to look for a move that's going to give me at least 1-to-1 in terms of risk-reward ratio. So when a trade like that happens, just understand that just because you have a quick winner, you understand how much you risk. So you do have to try and make that back. And if you're not going to make that back, then you probably shouldn't be taking that trade at least. So think twice on that trade. Again, so far 2 trades. We've got a short on BABA, a long on Apple. Both of them working out for now. Again, this is for now. I'm not going to jump out of these trades real quick. Brendan, what do you got?
Maybe today is the day for NVIDIA. Big move to start things off here. 2% already for NVIDIA. 620 important, guys. Remember, the split back on Friday announced, but huge volume here for NVIDIA, guys.
Yep, and now it's moving, and now I don't have it on, so that's no surprise for me for that one. But we do have a couple nice winners on right now, and some losers on. So, okay, we just got into NEO again, not again for the first time. This stock just dumped itself out, so we're going to give it back to 33.50 here. If it breaks, then we're gone on that one. But we'll take a shot on NEO on the dump downside. We'll see if it wants to go, man. This has been a monster trade for us. We went short again. That's why my average price isn't great. But SPCE, like short. We talked about that. Tick. These are all wins, guys. And then now we're down to 24 even. We talked about that trade, so really happy with the way that one's basing itself out. We got a little greedy again. You were bringing that up on Beyond Meat. It goes up to 115. Thanks for all the credit there, Arun. Wish we both had that, but 12.74 upside, bang. Nice little $2 winner on that. We're waiting. And then the one that's really starting to piss me off the most is Ford. But we're going to get some out here as we've been wrong on this name. Oops, sorry, is that Ford? There it is. Yeah, we've been wrong on this name, but we did take a big average. So right now our average price is only 12. So this could have been a lot worse, man. It almost took us out. We gave you some lower levels, but we've averaged into Ford this whole way, man. And now we just got to wait for this thing to go back up. But I've gotten lighter because I don't want to be wrong. The market's up, NASDAQ up, Ford down. Not a good recipe for success, but we're banging out the winners now, baby. We also got Palantir on the low side there. Nice little 75 pickup. Let's go, market. You could do this. What up, B?
I remember this thing from Friday, ANVS going again here, guys. Already 15%, already cleared that pre-market high. Testing 70 here. It was a bit of a level late in the day for ANVS, guys. All
right, another trade I just picked up here, NNDM. Brendan, did you just talk about this? No, right? No, okay. I was all over the place with the positions here. I just picked up 613 long. I've got 595 as my stop, just underneath 595. Risk, it's not a whole lot of risk, but again, it's a very low, thick, relatively speaking, in terms of how thick the book is. It is somewhat thick. So we got a lot of space to work. We can take more shares when it comes to something like this. I've got this area here, 6 even, 605-ish. So I'm going to put 595 as my marker and see if we can catch a bounce off of this towards the 630 mark. So risking 15 cents, trying to make back 15 cents or so. Apple. Hey, Apple, look at that. 81 cents. Well, 78 cents now in the money. We're looking to get towards 127. I'm going to start taking some profit around there once we get there. So that was a great move. That's going with the market. And the other one I've got is not on the board here, but it is BABA. Again, 211.50 was my risk parameter, and it is sitting 80 cents out of the money now, but that's expected. That's okay. That was bound to happen given the way it was moving, because it kind of went right through that 209 area. So this snapback, that's perfectly fine. What you have the potential to do, actually, you know what, I just realized I might actually have to use a different stop on this. Okay, yeah, so I might actually have to move the stop, because I had it marked off at 211.50, but then I realized that I actually should be putting it at 212.50. So I'm going to reanalyze this and see if we can't move the stop on BABA. So the risk parameter just shot up on BABA for that short. So BYND still going strong. Sean's riding that cash cow there. And coin, anyone who took that 228, 230 break, there you go, 225, quick $2-3, 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. So quick trade there for anyone who wanted that breakdown on that trade. But for now, it does look like the market wants to take a closer and closer look towards this 285, or not 285, 41.85 on the futures. So keeping a very close eye on that. And if we can get a move above and actually sit above, then I think you have the potential for the market to actually start going up faster. Because right now, NASDAQ's up just over 1%. ES is up 2/4 or 2/3 of a percent, 0.6 and change. So with the market going, BYND going, you can get some more acceleration once the market actually breaks through that one resistance level that we've got. And hey, NNDM, 4 cents in the money now on a stock that I was risking 15 to 20 cents on. So there you go. That's a quick return on that again, but we are looking to get 15 cents at least on that trade.
Spin it.
Money.
Guys, look at this Palantir long. Again, whether or not we trade the same names, double names, whatever, this is a 30-cent winner right here on Palantir. We gave it to you guys right from the sheet, man. Back to 2050 right there. If you can't see it, it's also on Twitter. So there it is, nice little backside fill down to 2075. We talked about why we like that level, man. We love the quarters. Bounce 2075, bounce 2075. Did break in near the end of the day, so that's why we do have orders lower and why we're using 2050 as our out. But don't get it twisted, guys. Take out some profits there like we just have. And you want to get something twisted up, look at this NEO trade right here, which reminds me, get some out, Sean, instead of just talking about it. NEO with another banger, man. We'll go bang on this one because NEO ripping to the upside again. A nice little out at 34. We talked about liking NEO. We talked about why we like NEO. It was an EV name. Looked like it was trying to break out, but it did not. It goes downside there. And we say downside, but look at the market. It doesn't deserve to be going downside. So we pick some up and we use 30.50 as our out. So right there, long 75, out's going to be 50. So we do got to clean some out. I mean, this is a 1-to-1 risk reward, but we do like this name better than others. So here goes to the upside. And Arun, sorry about that, buddy, but Beyond Meat right now is giving us the fake hot dog cannon. So as that just keeps on ripping to the upside, now up that 9+%. We've been banging our heads on the table for Beyond Meat for a while. We take it today, 112.70, ho-hum, $4 winner. Nice trade. We'll see if it can go even more than this, but I think we may be getting a little extended here. Beyond Meat right back to these levels. So watch out here, 117, that's 114. We could have some problems upside, that's 120. Beyond Meat may be coming into a problem area. So let's get some out. What's the day's high? 116.75. We'll get some out, 116 and change here if we can. Good winner, but let's not let our winners take over. We need to get out before we get in trouble, guys.
Yeah, and talk about winners, trying to get out of some winners here. I'm trying to get out of some Apple here in front of this 127. I gave this, like I said, 127 was the target. Now I'm trying to get some shares out in front of that 127 because I like the resistance aspect of it. For profit taking, that's the only reason. I'd rather it take off, and so I can actually get more than just $1 on this. I've already got some here. I don't know why the arrow is yellow, but I got to change the color scheme on this. So yeah, we've got some out in front of this 127. So hey, 94-cent winner on Apple. The other one I'm waiting on is BABA. It is coming back into this resistance here. Looking for it to slow down so we can actually get this move to continue to the downside through 210. But again, you have to consider the flip side of a trade if the trade doesn't work out. A lot of the levels I use is there's 2 trades available. There's 1 trade in front of the level, 1 trade if the level breaks. In this case, I took the trade when the level broke, but if that trade failed, meaning the short, if it failed, you have the potential to run a flip again. Let me zoom this chart out. Let's just make it a 30-minute chart here. When you go to the multi-day here and you go back, you take this break, look for the 210 breakdown, but if you don't get that breakdown, that means you get support. If it runs through 212.50, then you can actually run the long, if you wanted to, towards 216. So there's other trades you can make. So just understand that just because the trade doesn't work out doesn't mean that's it, that's over. You can actually run a flip side on the trade if you want to, if everything else fits, the risk parameters fit, all that other stuff fits. Just make sure that you understand it's not just about the one trade you've got. There's multiple trades available around the same areas. And hey, you know what? Apple backing off to that 127 area, exactly what I was worried about. So now may have to run some protection on this for the remaining position just to make sure that I am locking in some more capital or more cash and more profits on the remaining position. What's up, Brendan?
Roblox, guys, we talked about all-time highs back on Friday. Here we go again. More all-time highs for Roblox, 84.5 to 84.70. This kind of area in here was the high if you go back to Friday. So a nice push already for RBLX.
Geez, my kid's gonna be busting me up over that. He was like telling me, Dad, you gotta buy Robux, you gotta buy Robux. But instead, let's slay some more dragons here. What up, Neo? How are you doing, my friend? We're happy to, oh, and Neil. Hey, what's up, Neil? I'm not sure if you're watching. Have you guys seen him in the chat there? I can't stay away from this place. So even when my days are off, you guys, I'm there. But I don't want Neil here, man. Enjoy your time off. What up to Neo here, not Neil. Give a bit shout out to Neil. I'm sure he's doing good. And Neo, just a day off, guys. And thank you to Arun, man, with some nice bangers, man. Huge trade on Apple. Look at this trade, though. Long here, 33.75. Bang, 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 all the way up. We wouldn't be myself if I didn't get out of the quarters. So 34.20. And there it is there. We talked about risking about 25 cents. So when we're in the money 50, we ring the Reggie, guys, on that one. And then you talk about ringing some Reggies. What about Palantir right now? Should we get out of this one? Let's have a look at this. Let's go market up 1.25%. This is why you park orders, guys, down here. I can't take all the credit. If Neo doesn't come down, we don't get filled. Or sorry, Palantir doesn't come down, we don't get filled. But now that it has come down, let's take some money off the table again. There's another out at 14. Like, this is how, when things go well and it's a bullish kind of day, we make that money. But Sean, you're a bull, but don't you ever short? Hell yeah, I short. Check out Space. Me and Brendan talked about this earlier when we came in. Brendan's like, I hope you crushed this, Brendo. He's like, I want more shares short on Space. Space right now, days low on this statement. Bang, bang. We like it so many times, Arun. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 times a charm on the Space short. We're going to go perfect. We're going to go 4 for 5 today because it looks like my number one stock that I really, really like, Ford, does not like me today, as it looks like it wants to get to the downside. So we'll wipe away some of our profits here. Our biggest position was long 08. So, we're just trying to get some out right now. That's why you see me long 09 here. It hasn't been a lot of damage yet to me, but it's enough that I'm pissed off. So we're giving back some profit here on Ford, as we've just been getting out here. Every time it bumps up, we're getting some out. So I think sometimes, here it is, that's a little bit better. Sometimes that's the best thing to do. Our average price when this was on its way down was about 14s. So, getting outs at 9s, 10s, stuff like that. Not great, but we did get to VWAP there where we were happy getting some out. I think we're going to take some more out here. And look, it's not all about the winners, although Beyond Meat, $3. Neo, 40 cents. Palantir, just look at the charts. Palantir up. Space, now 65 cents in the money. So let's just lick some of our wounds with Ford and not worry about it anymore.
Yeah. Okay, so a couple things. NNDM is now at 26.27 again. I got it just at 6.13. So we're getting back almost 1-to-1. If I can get this fill in front of 6.30 here, I've got an offer here. You can see this yellow line, this ugly yellow line, which I need to change. So it is sitting here just in front of 6.30, so I can try to book some profits here. Again, Apple, I've changed the stop on this now. I'm starting to trail this. As we get closer and closer to 127, where we got there, I got to protect this because this could act as resistance and just bring this whole thing back down. So 126.50, that's my marker here on Apple. See if we if we break below there, I'm going to get out of that one there. And BABA is starting to turn around again. Where's the BABA chart? Here we go. BABA turning around again after getting to 211 or so. It is starting to move back down, which is good, which is a good sign because that is where the majority of the resistance is. So if we can actually get this thing to turn around here and go back towards that 210, if we can actually get back under 210 now, I think I feel a lot more comfortable with this trade given the way it's reacted around this 211 area. So that's a better trade for me if it gets back under 210. If it hesitates to get back under 210, I might be in trouble with that trade. So that's something to keep an eye on. But in reality, we're keeping an eye on it, but we really can't do a whole lot because the trade's locked in. So profits moved, stops are in place, not a whole lot. If you've got everything in place, just let the trade work and breathe. But until that happens, we just got to wait patiently. What's up, Brendan?
Just checking on this. Yeah, I thought this was, it is. It's a natural gas company, Tellurian. I thought I recognized that. TELL on the NASDAQ, just popping up here on volume. Straight to the upside ever since the open here. Watch out for $3 on Tell, guys.
Okay, we are now at 1 times daily goal. Oh man, I just ran over my shoelace. Okay, 1 times daily goal right now. Off a nice bump up, man. Neo, big time win there. We're actually a little bit higher than that. Good trade. Space, Palantir just got some out at 15 there. Guys, to take one of Neil's lines, we're not going to look a gift horse in the mouth here. The market's up real nice, so let's just empty it out. You can see we actually, this time, Arun, you don't see this often with me, but this time, I'm trying to do my Arun style with a little bit of diamond hands. We are hella loaded up right now. You want to talk about winners? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 winners on board. $2.50 winner on Beyond Meat right now. Ford finally back into the money now. Will not be a winner. Needs to move up before we hit, celebrate too much on this one. NIO, 70 cents in the money. Look at this trade. Thank you guys again for the love. Look, whether or not, great call, Sean, on NIO, doesn't matter. You're the ones hitting the keys, right? Someone said, oh, I bought options based on that call. Look, sometimes it's great, but look, I'm just glad that you guys are hitting the keys and making the money. I can't, make calls where these things are going. We just try to trade the best setups. Palantir, well in the money too. And then 50 cents over here with our friendly neighborhood giant Space. So we'll wait to see where that goes from now. I'd probably dump this if we get back above 24.20, but we're hella light right now on SPCE, so really nothing to worry about, nothing to see here. My biggest position right now, believe it or not, is Ford. It's just my biggest per share position because I've emptied out everything else. On this move up, we talked about getting out. I guess I still have an equal amount of NIO and Palantir, but I think these ones want to run no matter what the market wants to do today. You see the market coming down and Palantir still making moves upside. So I think this is the right stock. And let's go Ford. Here we go, Ford. Let's get those bulls kicking, Arun. I know you have we won't talk about what cars we drive, but I know you have a foreign car. You don't own a Ford, do you, my friend?
I do not.
Yeah, I own a German one myself, so.
Okay, well, we're talking about cars now, but talking about cars, that can go down a different path. Well, let's not go there. Let's go back to stocks here.
Yeah.
NNDM, bank some money. There we go, around that to 630 mark. That is risk-reward ratio 1-to-1. You've seen it live. The thing for me, I heard you, Brian, this is going to be the Pew animation for you because that stock, I don't do a whole lot of stocks around that price range, so I'm kind of proud of myself for stepping in and taking a shot at a $6 stock here. So for me, that's a Pew shot on NNDM. BABA, man, I might be in trouble with BABA here because this thing is coming back down through 210, so that might be a problem. We'll leave the stop in place, let it go. Apple, again, we're trailing this at 126.50. That is the trailing stop. We've already locked in some profit here right around 127. I've got my risk on this trade already done on the first portion. Now we're just going to trail it out. Worst case scenario, I get stopped out and I bank 50 cents. So, I mean, is that really bad? In the potential for this thing to keep going towards 127.50, yeah, you risk maybe 50 cents. I'm risking about another 25 cents. Given where it's at, I give up 25 cents to try and get another 75 cents or so. So I don't see that as that big of a deal. I've already locked in what I needed to lock in. I think the only issue here is BABA so far. And the futures, man, they are stalling around this 80 mark here. So 85 is the level. And we're stalling at 80. I'm going to start looking at potential shorts here. The more we stall, the more I'm going to start to like to short. But again, not just yet, though. I feel like this is one of those false sense of securities where, we're just kind of slowing down and then we accelerate right through that 85 area. So I'm going to wait to see if we can get underneath 75 again. If we can get underneath 75, 74-ish, then I might consider the possibility of a short, risking 10 points. So 74 and change towards 85, risk 10 points, see if I can get at least 10 points going back down towards 65. So 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Again, I'm always looking at the risk-reward ratio. It doesn't make sense to take trades where you can't get back at least your risk on the trade. So for me, 10 points risk for a 10-point gain there. I did it on Apple, I did it on NNDM, and I'm just waiting to find some more trades here. So if you guys have some shots, or some shots that I can take on some stocks here, just put them in the chat. I'll keep an eye on chat. People are saying PLTR, so I'll keep an eye on that. So we'll see what that's, I don't know. I'm not a fan of that chart right now, so I'll just wait it out and see if we can catch some other stocks that are moving. John, what's up?
Yeah, I got it. I'm just sending a message here. I can't go short some of these Ethereum ETFs there. So ETHE. So I'll shout out to Gregory trying to get those shares short. But right now, guys, it's a DAPS kind of day. What up? What up to my friend Neil? What up to Arun? What up to you guys out there as well? PLTR. Hell yeah. Someone said drip, 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 drip. Yes, sir. Dripping right now. Palantir out of the upside. And again, we wouldn't be ourselves if we didn't get some out. So we'll get another piece out right here at the quarters as well. Oh, yeah. You want to talk about some drippage? Check out N to the I to the O right now. NIO, one of my favorite dripping stocks, upside. Let's get some more out here if we can into the 50s. What a great long that's been. Oh, yeah. And Ford, what up, Playboy? You're now right back to the high side again as we just continue to go bang on Ford up to the 20s. Let's go, Ford, man. We're now two times 2 times daily goal right now as Ford taking off. Why were you so low, Ford? Why did I get out? Valeria, you tell me. Let's go.
Hey Sean, Twitter is moving to the upside. Could you guys give us a quick look into TWTR?
I completely missed everything you just said there. So, Twitter, tweet, what's up? Yeah, Twitter, okay, sorry about that, guys. I don't even know if my earpiece is working today. It may even be turned on. I'll have to figure out what's going on with that. Twitter up 3% right now today, a big move, but I'm gonna have to look at this in a minute, guys, and I will come back. Beyond Meat just chilling right now, guys. We should have got some out there. We'll put an order now, 115.50. If it can come up to there, let's just get out. This is just such a monstrous day. I couldn't be happier with everything. Ford now putting us right back in positive. We traded 5 names today, and guess what? The Wiz is in the building today, where we're just going to go 5 for 5 here, rocking and rolling. We missed Beyond Meat. We missed Arun. Remember in the pre-market, we were talking about AMC? Yeah. And this is almost where I need Valeria to come over here for some sort of a verification. You don't need to, Valeria, because they're going to believe me. But my bid right here. Okay, Valeria, you know what? Yeah, come over here for a second here. What price does this say? You don't know even what stock I'm talking about. So we can go back.
12.16.
Right, 12.16, okay? 12.16. She has no idea what stock we're talking about. That's AMC. My bid was 12.16 here. It dipped to 12.17. So we get lucky on Palantir, but we missed this trade. And again, I put orders out there looking for key levels because I can't look at them all. I'm already in 5 positions, but damn, that would have been a good trade on AMC Arun if we would have got that 12.16. This is a name that we're looking at. I don't know if you're in position or you had another stock to talk about, but AMC, I think we should look at this for a little bit of more work done here. I love that 12. I'm not embarrassed, but wow, we're bidding 12.16. It goes to 12.17 there. That's crazy. Sometimes you get those misses. I know that's happened to you a lot on the futures as well. More stories from Arun when we get back. What up, Bren?
Just looking at MindMed, guys. We got through that Friday low. It looks like 340 was a bit of a low on Friday. A little headline this morning on MindMed. It was on the watch list, trading higher here in the pre-market, but southbound so far for MNMD.
You know, I'm trying to find stocks, and guys in the chat are putting up some stocks here for me. Nick, thank you, my man. Run. I like that chart on Run here. If we can get that 47 breakout. Multi-day wise, we're sitting in some support here around 46, 46.50. So I'm looking for the 47 breakout on Run now because of Nick. So shout out to Nick for that one. And the other one that he put was Teva. I like the short on Teva just below 10 actually. So if we can get the breakdown, Teva's a New York stock, I guess. Okay, Teva, I looked at the chart here, 11 even break. I'm going to be a little careful here because I do see some action around 10.95. So I might wait for 10.95 to break and then kind of settle in. And then I'll have to go ahead and take the shot on the short side here on Teva. So those 2 stocks just put on my radar now because of the viewers. Hey, guys, put them up. If you guys have stocks that you are trading, that you guys are in, just put them up so we can at least get some ideas, some more ideas. Because sometimes we have these volume scanners and these, we have Brendan, who's the actual news guy, the news scanner himself. Sometimes we see the charts, we see the stocks, but then we kind of forget about them. So if we see them in the chat, it kind of reminds us, like Sean said about AMC here, now I gotta go look at AMC, because I know we were talking about it, I just didn't remember. Oh man, damn. Okay, yeah, we definitely missed out on AMC. Yeah. Okay, what's up, Brendan?
Here's another one, guys. We were talking about last week, pretty much the entire week. 4.5% for IPOE, which is SoFi. Remember, June 1st, SOFI will be the new ticker for IPOE, guys.
Yes, sir. SoFi, yeah, good name there. We like that one. I'm a little bit flustered. That's why we did get Valeria. I almost called her Victoria. Like, I don't even know what the hell's going on today. Oh, that's her alter ego? That's why, okay. So Victoria came over here, and we looked at that, and I can't believe we missed that AMC, but we did not miss Ford, man. I just wish we didn't get out all the way down here. Like, when this happens and the market's ripping up, I'm sorry, guys, but like, I'm gonna be as conservative as I can wear many different hats, you know, long, short, you know, big game hunter, just small little scalper, things like that. And then this just made me too nervous down here. Should have believed in myself and the trade, because then we'd be to the moon today. But Ford right now, really happy that it's at least back to positive. Well, almost back to positive. But yeah, our net, you know, working out for us as well on Ford. NEO, we did actually, I just realized this, we did have a break of that 34.60. We did right how we liked 34.60 on here to go strong and long. But the problem was it stopped at 65. So now we're emptying out our NEO. We almost have nothing left. So it's going to look like this is a loser. But remember, this, the sticky note and some of the ideas that Arun and I talk about are based on levels that we're seeing like pre-market. We don't know. Like, I don't know that this is going to crack down here, right? Would have I gone long NEO at 34.60? Again, it's my own fault. You got to clean up your stop orders. So this is 100% on me. And I knew as soon as it filled in, I got out. Like I noticed it wasn't breaking. So if you see all these outs here, guys, like, I don't know if you can see, but there's a bunch of outs here, 62, 63, 65, and then again at 55. And now we're holding a very, very small position. We don't let these happen for us, right? If they go and then they come back in, we get out, right? So that's a big level there, 34.60. Not only did we call that level, but it might have been the top, not the bottom. It might have been the top, not the breakout spot. So we're going to get out of some NEO here as that's working itself away. And then again, back over to Palantir. And this is another thing, guys. Like, look where my outs, 24s, 24s, 25s. Like, that's how we trade. We get very, very conservative when we get around levels and they stop moving. So good trade there. And the same thing on Ford, guys. Look, 25s again, out 20s, out 22s, 21s. So you can't hold everything forever. And I have to throw this over to you, Arun. There's no more better case than that than when you're trading the futures. If a key level cracks and you're holding against it, how far can you lose your day? Like, almost instantly if you can't get out fast enough on those futures.
Well, yeah, the thing with the futures is, like, you got to understand futures. Let me just pull up the futures level 2. You guys can see it here. If you guys can see this on the top left corner here, each quarter point is leveraged 50 times. So understand that it's going to cost you $12.50 for every tick per contract you have. So if you don't respect your levels and respect the strategy you go with, this can get very expensive very quickly. So given how markets move, so every 1 point on the futures is $50. If you have multiple contracts, that can easily be, $500, $1,000 as it moves through. And then if you give it an extra, 2-3 points in space, you're burning that extra capital that can be used elsewhere. So it's all about capital preservation, but at the same time, you got to understand when to take risk. So on the futures, be smart. Well, not just futures or anything really. Just be smart, because if you're supposed to get out, because you can use that money and put it elsewhere and try to make that money back. So a couple things, updates here. BABA, I've taken some more shares here, just in front of 211. I still like to trade. It's kind of slowed down here, right in the resistance. So why not take another shot at here with 212.50 as my stop. If we can get back under 210, we're okay. But for now, we are stalling here. So I'm okay taking another shot on BABA. Apple, again, 126.50 is my stop on Apple. We've tightened the stop up, so lock in another 50 cents or so on the remaining position. See if we can get that breakout through 127. And NNDM is now into the mid 30s here. So NNDM, when we took the trade in the low teens here, around 12, 13 actually, 613, I was willing to put up some risk, make 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. It was a thick stock, so you can take more shares. Now we just got to protect. 625, if we get below there, then I get out. In the meantime, we're going to go to Brendan and see what's happening now.
Hey guys, you got 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at how things are shaping up so far. Nice day so far. Tech stocks in the lead here, both the composite and 100 NASDAQ nicely higher, 1.3, 1.2 to the upside. The S&P following right along, 0.84 for the S&P 500. The Dow about 0.5% right now. Small caps even. The Russell having a nice day, 0.43% to the upside. We're actually negative here in Toronto. Just went red for the TSX. Energy and some of the mining stocks coming back to the downside a little bit today. A couple of things we were talking about in the pre-market, that Luminar laser, big move on that apparent confirmation that Tesla we were talking about last week did in fact have Luminar's LiDAR system on it. All the way back though, didn't really follow through there whatsoever. Still up though on the day. ANVS on the watch list. Yeah, this thing went nuts on Friday, if you remember. Came all the way back to, what was this? 62.50, I believe it was this area. A little bit of a pivot late in the day as well. But look, day lows right now, guys, for ANVS. Back to you.
Yeah, damn, we talked about ANVS all last week, and then today not so much. We will look at that. I just want to look at Beyond Meat right here. Struggling a little bit. We're $3 in the money on this. We already took out 2/3 of that right off the open when we called 115, and that, we pegged that there, no problem. And then we also just called 115.50. So I just thought I actually had an order there. We would have been out, but I thought with the market ripping here that we did have a chance to get higher and higher and higher on this name. So let's wait to see here. It might take out, I don't know, it's just struggling at this 115.50 area. I don't want to be too greedy here, so let's not make a crazy mistake on Beyond Meat, but yeah, okay, now it just failed again. So yeah, 115 and change, we're going to get out. We're going to put an offer there in a minute when we can. Oh, I want to talk about Ford. What an epic fail that was, guys. Like Ford, I don't know what happened to you. You were cruising up there, and then look, more outs here, 16, 17s. Again, not turning what we thought was going to be a good trade back into a losing trade. So now it's broke back through, so now we're pretty light on Ford. I literally have, I'm going to say 15% of initial position, and I'd like to get some more down here. But again, I don't know why we're failing. So let's pick up some more Ford down at 13, down 1.75%. Remember, up 12% last week. So we've already cashed in a lot of money on Ford, obviously. Let's see what happens now if it comes back to 13. We'll go longer down there. What a missed opportunity. Damn it. I should have got out, guys. We called that 115 top a couple times, and we didn't do anything about it. So now 115.40. I deserve not getting out of this. So we're going to put an order here a little bit lower, 115 and change for Beyond Meat. Let's just see if we can't get it out. But damn it, left some money on the table with this one.
Yeah, a couple updates here. I just stepped into the futures here. 85 break. I like the way it's acting. So now is where I'm going to start to build a position. I've taken some already. Here's the thing with this. My risk on this is 55. So I'm putting up nearly 30 points in risk. So take your shots accordingly. If you need some, if you need to take less shares to get your risk parameters in, do that. But I'm going to start to build a position now the way it's reacting around or above 41.85. Let's see if we can get some extension here. I am looking for support through these 80s. Given how much time we spent around 80, I'm looking for some support there if we do fall back a little bit. Just a couple of updates with BABA here. Finally, we are backing off of that 211 back towards that 210. Again, we do need to get going below 210 for this trade to actually accelerate towards the lows here. But until that happens, I'm kind of iffy about the trade. But for now, we've got a shot in front of 210. We've got a shot just around 211. We're averaging 210.35 is our average price here. Waiting on that one to happen here. NNDM, we've locked in profit here. Well, we've already taken some out in front of 630. Now we're locking in just underneath 625 here. So lock in another 12 cents or so on the remaining portion of the position. And Apple looks like it wants to kind of take a little consolidation before it extends up, which is great if you're long. So we're putting in 126.50 as your stop. Trailing stop, lock in 50, just under 50 cents or so. If we get the extension, then we can get towards the mid 127s. Again, risk reward ratio, that'll get me about $1.50 in terms of reward if I can get it up there. And Teva, from the super chat, I'm keeping an eye on 10.95. We get below there, I think I can go ahead and take a shot at the short with 11.15 as the stop, which would be the high point for that, because that kind of just gives you a consolidation and breakdown. So I'm keeping an eye on Teva, see how we react around that 10.95 to get that extension to the downside on that. But for now, that's all I've got here, and hopefully we're just going to wait for these stocks to actually get going and see if we can find some more. So hey, keep putting them in the chat, and I'll look at some more stocks, see if I can't take any more.
Yeah, no, I was just talking with Greg there. He's saying that the market's a little slow today. And yeah, it is for sure, because you got to just have luck, some luck on your side a little bit, anyways, when you're trading this market. And we did get a great long there. The only thing we missed was AMC, and that would have been like we would have been just rocking if we got that AMC long. Can't believe we missed that by a literally 1 cent before that ripped up. Okay, Palantir breaks. Now we're out. So now I have just nothing, just a watching position now for Palantir as we just breaks through that 21. We got everything out. Palantir's a rocking stock for me. We're up nicely on it, man. We're up great on NEO today as well. Beyond Meat, we've learned our lesson. We know where that order is back. So is it a reload on Palantir? Yeah, it is. Let's just get some orders in. I think it's a reload here. Why not? Downside, Palantir, the market's rocking today, up 1.4%. Let's see if we can't pick up some Palantir on the downside. Maybe even just right now. What up, Brandon? We'll start building this position.
I saw that NASDAQ leading the way here. I just saw this one, guys. Microsoft among the leaders on the overall NASDAQ, just taking out 250 again, heading back to the upside, guys. No significant news, but yeah, Microsoft looking good.
Y'all know we love Mr. Softy. Yeah, Microsoft, a good trade there. I kept saying last week, and there it is. There's the reload on Microsoft, on Palantir, so we'll wait to see. Want some lower, not a heavy position. Wow, Microsoft, good trade, man. Like, we were buying, I don't know why I bought some BABA last week at 220 or so, and some Apple at 126. We'll check out those positions where they are. But we should have really, I kept saying, man, 244, what a great level that was. Who knows, it could come back tomorrow. But 244, I love Microsoft buying it at those levels, so watch out for 244 there. Good thing we got out of our Virgin Galactic. It's now popping back to the upside, right near a spot where we could probably go short again on this name. But we've seen this happen before, so let's reload the short into this. 24, we'll just give it to this high. If it fails again. 24.70, even right here, 24.80 we can give this to. 24.80 on Virgin Galactic. Let's try a little baby short here as our day is rocking and rolling. Was that Brendo again?
Yeah, I just saw this one, guys, real quick. SCPS, which is Scopus Biopharma. It's been halted a number of times here. It's already up. Crazy amount, 123%. This thing was $6 bucks, $5.90 on Friday. We're at 11 and change right now. So it looks like they got FDA approval for a study for their lead drug candidate. Yeah, it's non-Hodgkin's lymphoma treatment that got FDA approval for a study, not for the drug itself, but a little teeny tiny one, SCPS.
All right. While we go from SCPS, I'm back to Teva here, getting below 1095. I'm just waiting to see a little bit more how much of a reaction we're going to get here. If we actually don't get a whole lot, I'm going to go ahead and take the short. Again, 11.15 is a stop if I decide to go for the short here. I'm very quick to I'll be making a decision on this very soon. We're waiting for that one here. Futures kind of going sideways after it got above 41.85. That's fine. I mean, you guys come back for the afternoon show. We'll see how this turns out because it doesn't look like the ES futures are going to be that exciting today. So we're going to wait for that one to play out. And hey, BABA, finally come back towards this 210. If we can actually get through here, we can get going. So that's what I'm banking on here, given the way I've traded this. So 212.50 is your stop if you decide to go for the short. You're looking to get below 210 for some acceleration. And Apple's still stalling around that 127, and NNDM coming back into like mid. It's not a whole lot of support, but it is like the midpoint level. So again, 625 is a trailing point there. That's all I've got here, and not a whole lot going on in terms of stocks. It does look like ES is now starting to go up here. We're at 87 now, so that's a point in the money. But again, we got a long way to go before I make any decisions on how to manage that trade. At least towards 4,200, I would think, because that would be the next round number, and I think that can get magnetic. So the thing with the futures, you guys got to understand, is that when we get to round numbers, it becomes a magnet. Right, just like stocks, but the future is more so because it's weird the way it moves once it gets near round numbers. It just like gravitates right towards it. I don't know if the programs are pushing it higher or whatever the case is. I know with stocks you can focus on the options game and all that stuff, but at least with futures, the 4,200, I think that'll be a magnetic level once we get going above 90. So keep an eye on that. And I think I'm going to go ahead and take a shot on the short side on Teva now that we're actually settling in underneath 1095 on that. So let me go ahead and put an order out there. Sean, what are you up to?
Yeah, I'm up to some bad stuff over here, actually. We may have our first loser on board right now, as it looks like, maybe I got to adjust this a little bit higher here for space. So space right now, SPCE, taking out the top right now. And we're going to put it in 24.86 break. I have to adjust it because we were just looking at 24.85 right in the face right there. So we did average into a short here. I think about getting some out now. This stock obviously wants to go upside. So we, if we're wrong, we're wrong. We're short 24.55 right now. We're giving back not even like a third maybe of what we made on this dip down. I just thought that we were getting to this high spot there, but look at the futures, man. Still Rip City here, so be very, very careful. We're emptying some of this out as it's coming right back down. So good for us there. Just got really nervous, was not expecting this kind of a move off VWAP. So like you guys know, sometimes my conservative nature does get the best of me. Like I said, we can have diamond hands. I think we've done a good job with those so far today. But with space, not one that I really, this is a gang mentality kind of stock. There it goes. Let's go. Oh, why didn't I just believe in myself again? We emptied some out here as we just got bid there at 55. That would have put us flat on the trade. So now we'll hold the rest of it and see if it does take out that 80 mark. But good trade, I guess. I was just talking it down, Arun, and then all of a sudden it goes back into the money for us. So good one there. I guess all we need to do is talk about it. And then check out Palantir. You guys see some of those buys. So yeah, we're going to do it again, man. We're walking on water with this name as Palantir. Let's get a little bit out. We'll take some out 95s 96, 97s as well, if we can. Nice little reload, and thank you to the audience for that one. You guys were like, Sean, what about a reload on PLTR? And I was like, okay. So good call there. Nice little reload up. We're long at 88, so we're in the money now, another 9 cents. All we're doing, man, is rinsing and repeating. Like, there it is again there. Like, let's go. We'll go diamond hands if we can. Let's see if Palantir gets back up to quarters as the futures right now break city. What up, B?
First time in a while, we're seeing a lot of action in small cap world. We mentioned the Russell up nicely. Here's another one, JAGX. Having quite the day, huge volume to the upside, coming back into significant levels here. They had positive news back on Friday regarding a cancer treatment. Don't see anything today, but nice move so far for JAGX.
All right, futures going. Oh, futures again stalling, but the NASDAQ futures seems like it's going. And Apple's going with it or taking it with it. So, hey, we got above 127 finally. How much acceleration do we have here? Again, I'm looking for it to stall around that 127.50, but at least now what I can do is I can actually start to tighten up. Because I know we're in resistance, so I know if this breakout fails, then we're probably not going to get through this immediately and probably going to come back down. So I'm just going to protect from that kind of a situation here in the event that it's a false move through 127. So I'm going to move the stop up to 126.75, see if we can protect some more, another 25 cents or so, 30 cents actually, and protect against this thing coming back down. Again, a couple other positions and a DM sitting around 625. Again, that's fine. We'll just let it work. Teva, hey, I got 93 shorts. We're sitting at 90 on the bid, 91 on the offer. So 2 cents locked in if you decide to go for that. I've risked about 20 cents. I'm looking to get into the mid 70s before I start to take profit. That's a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. I'm also keeping an eye on this 75 area. That's the only reason I'm willing to take a shot like this is because I know I can at least get my risk back. Right into the 75, there seems to be some support here. So keep an eye on that if you have the short along with me. Nick, I know you were looking at that. You're the one who gave it to me. So that's an area to keep an eye on. And the other one, futures, hey, finally, we're getting towards the highs, 88.25 and change now. We're 88.5 going towards the 90s. Looks like 90s is going to become magnetic here. See if we can't find a breakout through 90. You know, if you get that breakout, it's going to drag a lot of the index stocks with it. So keep an eye on the big heavyweights. We already have the NASDAQ tech stocks taking the NASDAQ futures with it. So Microsoft's, Apple's, you can see it in Apple. I'm in the position on Apple. You can see it going with it. So keep an eye on if you are heavy in tech, keep an eye on the NASDAQ futures. If you're heavy just overall, broad market, S&P, that's what I trade. For anyone who's wondering, I do focus mainly on the S&P futures just because I can read it better, right? I can read it much better than I can the NASDAQ futures, and that's the only reason why I spend so much time trading that and not the other one. And Sean, before I pass it off to you, keep an eye on this. I saw this stock here, APM. It was in the chat. I pulled up the chart. It is moving fast. So it's a $3 stock. I don't know how would you look at this chart, because it's not my style of trading, but it does look like momentum-wise, you can get that breakout, see if you can get a run for 10, 15 cents and then profit. How would you trade this?
Yeah, APM. Okay, we'll look at that in a minute. Ford right now busting out levels here. We just took some more Palantir out, 95s. We are waiting for more reload down there. Beyond Meat, still that $1.50 in the money, but that's my bad. That should have been out for $2.50. Oh yeah, and by the way, like, I really, I don't know. I'm going to do this one because we're flying in with the profits today. But guys, this could have been a monster trade there. We were short space into that 80 level. And yeah, my bad. I got so nervous about it and just didn't like these futures. I mean, I love the futures, but didn't like, that it was just motoring to the upside there. Thought space could go with it, but then Kathy phoned me and was like, no, space is going. No, I'm just joking. We can't talk like that in case someone believes me, and then we're gone for altering these stocks. But 24.14, what a big win this is. Now 37 cents in the money on SPCE. Probably worth it, guys. I'm gonna put a bid out here. Let's take 21s if we can get it. Just take this out. Like, this is a big move. Ooh, I just talked about that big move. Let's get some more out there if we can. 31s, we'll take it out there. Wait at 21s, then we'll wait for the rest to get out even lower than this. You know what? Forget that. I'm gonna get out of that 21. Okay, it was APM, right? Or was it APM?
APM, it was APM, yeah.
APM, okay. Obviously on the NASDAQ, let's have a quick look there. What's going on with this one? Brennan's been bringing some news to us. APM today up. Oh yeah, okay, I see you, APM. This is good, thanks Arun. This is a good breakout spot right here. 335, test. Third time's a charm. Let's see if it breaks 335 on APM. Yeah, I'm down with this one. Let's go long. It's gonna break it right now, guys, APM.
All right, back to the futures here. We actually got through. When I stopped talking, it was sitting just underneath 90. And look at this, we went right through 90. So clearly, the magnetic level just kind of took us and broke us right through. So now what's up? 4,200 is the next round number. We've got to keep an eye on that. There's going to be some action around 4,200 for sure, because if I can think back, the last few times we got around there, there was a lot of back and forth action around 4,200 before we got through it. So expect a ton of resistance before we get there. Once we cross 95, it's bound to be a magnetic point, meaning once we get through 95, you're bound to get to 4,200. At this point, we can still stall, but hey, if we get towards 4,200, I'm going to start taking some profits depending on how much volume I see. If there's a lot of volume, I got to take some profits, lock in something. It's not ideal, but at the same time, I'm aware of potential issues around 4,200 because it could fall off very quickly. So just keep an eye on that if you've got a trade on the futures at all. And Apple, hey, here we are, 127.20. I'm looking for the 127.50s before I make a decision on whether I can actually keep moving the stop up. Right now, the stop is locked in at 126.75 just to protect whatever I've got. And BABA is still continuing its slide, which is great for me. Oh, we got the alert. What's up, Sean?
Yeah, new position, and thank you. 8 p.m. right now. So 8 p.m. long at 340. There's the break that we're talking about. The only problem is, as I see it right now, is that this high, like what, you know, I don't know how greedy we should be getting here, guys. This high already made a couple days, about a month and a bit ago, back in March, already made at 365, this high. I don't know if it has enough to take it out today. This is obviously a monster move, 12.5 million shares, but we may have gotten, you know, into a trade a little bit too early here on 8 p.m. Maybe should have let this one see if it wanted to fall back a little bit before taking it. So right now we're very, very conservative with this. It only ticked out to 47 there on this long. So 8 p.m. I'm only going to give this one back. You know, we'll see if it comes back to 95, 96 here or not. But 8 p.m. right here having troubles at the high side. So this is unbelievable. We'll hit the chicken dinner winner because that's exactly what it is now. But wow, like we would be mooning right now, Arun, if I just had a little more faith in myself. And that's a couple times now today where I've loaded something up and then gotten nervous, and the other time was Ford, of course, but we did good on Ford, I feel like, as it came back in. But look at this dropped out. We load, but then all out. It's like, I'm not embarrassed to show this because I told you guys we were above VWAP there. It was coming down and started to turn up. And I didn't like it, but there goes space right to the downside. So hell yeah, we're going to take another 70-cent win on space. Oh yeah, and by the way, guess what else just happened? Hells yeah, bring down the money for Beyond Meat, as there it is again, man. We take out Arun finally, man. Discipline today. We got out there just ahead of that 1550 like we said we would. So there it is. Unfortunately, this time it goes to 16. Hey, but hey, man, the spread, you know, look at this. Now it's right back to 1550. So we're really happy with this Beyond Meat. Bang, 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 and out. We're at our highest spot we've been at all day, so nothing to complain about on our end. We did take another long on Ford, 06s. Out there 12s, out there 9s. Now let's see, we're long 8s right now on Ford. So that's why that was an important out right there at 12. Let's see if it can get back to VWAP. We're rocking and rolling, man. We're cooking with fire. And I'm going to say go Leafs go as we dummied Montreal on Saturday. Let's see if we can do the same thing tonight, guys. Go Leafs.
Yeah, you know, futures, hey, name of the game today seems to be futures. So here we are with the futures long sitting just above this 85. We're waiting for this to get towards 4,200. In the meantime, we're going to go to Brendan with small cap recap.
Hey guys, yeah, let's jump into small cap world. As I mentioned, kind of the first day in a while, we've had quite a few very, very active here in the pre-market. We talked about this one going back to last week, if you remember, JZXN, little tiny Chinese company that debuted, actually. It was an IPO last week. So it was kind of back on the radar again today. This thing blew me out the top a couple of times, but this area between 940 and 960 kind of coordinates with the past couple of days at the highs. So it's very thinly traded. So if you are going to look at this, just a heads up, 940 to 960, even 975 on the top was what ended up being the spot. As I mentioned, this blew me out the top a couple of times, but ends up working quite nicely back to the downside, 960, 950, 940 even, depending on where you're able to get some, all the way down to about 850. So a nice move back downside. This one pretty boring. CREX we talked about quickly. Comes back through 2 on volume. There's a huge seller that showed up, so that was enough for me. So a nice trade. Very slow and kind of grindy back to the downside. Yeah, I mean, this isn't a small cap. I'll show it to you because it was my main focus. This morning I started pretty early on this. This was 740, 745-ish. Yeah, I was just leaning on the short every time it came back to 25 and a half. We're making day lows right now back to 23.75. So yeah, space up too much apparently today, guys.
Yeah, you know, I'm looking at this chat here. Someone said that SCPS was halted for the X time today. And I was like, looking at the chart, I'm going, wow, how did this not become a trade that we were taking? This thing is halted still, but look at this thing, 6 to 14, and now it's stalled, it's halted just around 13. You know, I'm gonna see if I can't take a shot on the short side of this once the market opens. Depending on where it opens, I might just put a limit on open order and see if we can catch something, because I think this move might be overdone here, given the way it's trading. Sean, did you see this at all? SCPS, because this is quite ridiculous the way it's been moving right up until 14.
No, I'm missing all that right now. We're just loving everything else that we have. So right now, I can't believe this Virgin Galactic trade here. What a great short this has turned out to be. Maybe I've got the shorts on today because Neil's not here, but we love this one early and often, man. This was Virgin Galactic, like down, down, down. It just took out day's low again here. That's Virgin, like no idea, you know, how dramatic this one was going to be to the downside, but really glad that we do have this one on. So good move, and let's just keep on rocking and rolling. I want to bring to everyone's attention, like what's going on within Etherland right now, as this is trying to take out its current day's high as well. 2470 upside on ETH right now, busting out. We've got a lot of winners on board right here, guys. That's Ethereum, that's ripping, you know, APM. Thanks, Arun. For this one, just playing. We don't have that many shares here, but this one goes up to 1350 and 350 and stops. We're gonna give this one back to 3. It loses, man. It'll be the only loser we have on today. And believe me when I tell you, this ain't a big stock for me, so we'll wait to see on that one. I don't normally go too hard on this, and especially after we saw, I'm not even averaging in, we saw this already was a high. Like we've already topped out 340, 340, 340, all here, then 360. So not really worth the risk reward for me on this trade. So we'll wait for it, see if it does come through again. Other than that, man, Space, 80 cents in the money. Palantir, that 7 cents. And what was that name that you gave, Arun?
SCPS.
SC.
I just tried. You gotta
ahead,
pay
yeah.
for shorts, though. We don't have shorts.
Oh, it's pay for shorts?
Yeah.
Oh, it's halted right now. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
So SCPS, yeah. I mean, you know, Brendan's been here with the news today. Up to 14. Great move upside. 16. Again, no surprise where we're starting to halt now. The high 16. You can go all the way back to January for SSPS. But we are right now 2 times our daily goal and just rocking and rolling right now, man. Ford back upside. You want to talk about a good long that one was. If my charts will change, we could talk about it. We just got out more there. This is a 1-minute chart, guys. We just got out more, 15, 16, 17s. We reloaded back down there at 07. I don't know what to tell you. APM, you know, that's the one we're waiting for. We'll wait for that one. And then Palantir, having a little bit of problems there. We should have noticed this up to 21. So let's put in, well, I mean, we're at 21 right now. Let's put some more orders upside. It's very, very tight range. It's kind of embarrassing that we're taking a dime on this, but hey, like we're at the highest spot we've been at all day right now. So let's just keep it rocking right now. NASDAQ, I don't know if you have, do you have a futures trade on right now, Arun?
I do, yeah. I have the ES futures. I'm long 86. It's at 93. So we're in 7 points in the money. So anyone wondering, how much is 7 points? Well, it's 7 times 50. That's 350 for each contract that you have. So you can do the math on depending on how many contracts you want to take, whatever the case is. But 350 per contract that you have, so that's in the money, and we're just going to let this one go. Again, we got towards 41.95. I'm looking towards 4,200 as a potential first target for me to start taking something out. In the meantime, I'm okay waiting for this. Even if this comes all the way back down, I'm okay with it, because this was set up over the course of multiple days, going back almost a week. So for me, a breakout like this is not going to happen, or the expectation for a breakout, I'm not going to get immediately. So it's fine. If I've got to wait for it, I've got to wait for it. But that's okay, whatever the case is there. Apple, hey, we're at 127.50. We're around there anyways now. This is where I've got to start to figure out, can I move the stop now? And it seems like the answer to that question is no, because I have it locked in at 126.75, just underneath 80. And the way it's been moving, I can't really trust the 127 to put it under there, because there's been a lot of back and forth action there. So I'm going to leave it at 126.75 and see if we can't grind our way right through this area of 127.50. So maybe we got to wait on that one too. And NDM has kind of just died. It's on life support here because it has just gone sideways. So we caught the exciting portion of the NDM trade, which was the 613 long out in front of 630, and we're going to get the rest out once 625 goes. And hey, BABA still flirting with that 210. A lot of back and forth action, but yet we're still within the resistance area. So if you have shorts, gain of patience at this point. So you just wait for that one to work itself out. And Teva bounced, and this is bound to happen. Anytime you get a breakout like this, when it's tight around this area, it's 1095 again, there was a lot of back and forth. There was enough for me to take a shot at the short, but I'm also not surprised that it's coming back. I'd rather be in the trade than miss the trade, so I'm not going to bank on this thing coming back for me to get a better price. I'll pay whatever I have to as long as it fits the risk parameters. In this case, I was willing to pay 1093 to go ahead and take that short shot on the short side, and something just popped up on my radar. CCIV just popped up on my radar for the short side break at 1950. So is it NASDAQ stock? No, it's not a NASDAQ stock. What is CC? Oh, it's a New York stock. That's surprising. It just broke underneath 1950. I'm going to start looking for some shorts here on CCIV with a 1950 break, 2050 stop. So it's going to be $1 risk, depending on, maybe a little bit more than $1, depending on exactly where I'm willing to pay. You see this here. 1950. There's a little bit of an issue here around this 40 area, so I'm going to wait to make sure that this break is actually legit, meaning I want to see how it trades after it gets below. So we're going to wait on this, but this is next on deck for me if I'm going to decide to go ahead and take a short. In the meantime, Apple accelerating. Here we go, right through this 50. Now we're at 64. Looking like we can get to at least 127.50, 127.75. Sorry. That'll be the pre-market from the 21st. So that's the next area to see where I can make my trailing stop, if I can make a decision on whether I can actually move it or not. But that is the next area I'm going to keep an eye on. But for now, we're just going to wait for the futures to keep on going and waiting for Apple to make its way towards 127.75 before I can actually do something with that.
Love Apple. Good talk. Good trades there. Okay, so we keep talking about NVIDIA a little bit. Not a little bit. We talked about it in the pre-market. This is me on Friday. Remember when I was hella long NVIDIA at 600 and I was like, this has to go. I talked to Mark about it today. He didn't like it, but okay, I do. There's NVIDIA up today, 621. And this is what we did on Friday. This is why I feel like you guys, again, I made bad calls. I mean, we bought BABA. I'll find out where we bought BABA. I don't know if it was 212 or 220, but I'm pretty happy with this call, guys. We went long NVIDIA, 604.73. There's some traders that have a problem telling you when they go long, they tell you after the fact, or I shorted after the fact. But this is the call. Look at 2:09 p.m. on Friday, guys. I even said, bought more on NVIDIA for the long term. This is not something that deserved to be down on Friday, man. We talked about that over and over and over again. There's more of me. If you go back, big things popping, that was Ford. We talked about that on Friday. Today, not so much. But this just goes back to Friday. Oh, yeah, it was extra Caesar. This fell flat. I didn't realize that in the US, you guys don't do Caesars. But let's forget about Twitter for right now. Follow us on Twitter, but there goes NVIDIA, man. Brendan, thanks for talking about this all day, but I loved NVIDIA. I loved it breaking these levels. We bought it on Friday down here at 604. We put our money where our mouth is. I challenge people every day. What's up, Brendo?
Yeah, leading the charge for the chip maker so far, definitely NVIDIA. Here's a blast from the past for everyone. PCG, if you remember, once bankrupt power company out in California, announcing today they're planning to sell their San Francisco headquarters for $800 million. So PCG, remember, they did come out of bankruptcy kind of the fall, I want to say, September, October of last year. So moving back higher finally for PCG, guys.
Yeah, I remember when PCG was, that happened, it was insane. The stock, the book on that stock at that time was ridiculous. So yeah, I remember that. Some stocks, when you trade, you've traded it and they kind of leave a memorable impression. PCG, that was one of them because the way it was trading at that time was ridiculous. Back to BABA. Finally, we're getting that 210 break. Now we can actually get going on this thing. Here, I've got just underneath 210 on the short. I've picked up some more around 211. Here we are. let me zoom in on this. Now we can actually start focusing on what is the candle going to look like, or how is the action going to trade. Well, I'm expecting support around 209, but again, we're looking for this thing to fall through 209. That I am not locking in anything. I'm not moving anything. I'm going to let this thing trade out because I've been waiting for this move to finally happen. Because the way it's been trading, the breakout, the support, or the resistance area, all of this took time, and that's perfectly fine. But now that the trade's moving, or back in the money, or you could say, I mean, some people could rush to be like, oh, I'm going to take profit now, or whatever the case is. But just understand, you've got a plan in place. Just let it work. Sometimes I think that's one of the hardest things to do as a trader is let your plan work out because you see the money in front of you, you just want to take it. Now, before I go to Sean, we're just going to go back to the futures here and see what's going on here. Hey, back towards 95, 4,200 is the target. Let it work. I'm not moving anything. The stop is still down here at 55. So I could still, this market could turn on me. I could give up my 8 points and I'll be okay with it because this trade was meant to be a longer term trade. Yes, it's a day trader saying longer term. So for me, that means a few hours, not just a few minutes. So it's all relative at the end of the day, right? Brandon, what's up?
We were talking with Mark this morning, if you joined us very, very early, about some of the reopening type trade. Airlines did not come up, but I just noticed some of these airlines having a nice day as well. Here's Delta up 1.8%, just coming into 46, trying to hold actually on the support side of things. Still a choppy mess on the daily chart, but some of the airlines moving higher so far today. It's 10:30. That means there's an hour left in the session over in Europe. Let's get a quick check on how things are looking over there. What's up, Dee?
Hey, Brandon, Europe is mixed with markets in several countries, including Germany, and being closed for holiday. Cine World trading in London is up more than 1% as animated cartoon Peter the Rabbit 2 pulls in more people than expected. Back to you.
Yeah, holiday in our country next week for the U.S., obviously, but European action kind of muted so far, guys.
Peter Rabbit 2. I mean, come on, everyone knows that show was going to like blow up, right? No, I've never seen number one, but shout out to Peter Rabbit fans. Hopefully you guys are liking that name. My mind and eyes are going everywhere right now, as you guys can probably see. So let's just continue the trading here and see if we can't make some decent decisions for you moving forward. Oh, we celebrated APM there. Oh man, we'll hit a cowbell because I'm just laughing because it didn't go. Basically, it did exactly what we thought it would do. It went right to 60 there. This is why we took out half right there. So I was just so damn happy that this was, okay, perfect. Okay, Jim Boxer, what up, Jim Boxer? Thank you again for the super chats. They're greatly appreciated, guys. It lets Valeria get various Starbucks coffees and things like that. So how do you handle greed? When to take profits? I'm still learning and struggling with greed. So that's one thing that I basically turned off on my profile is greed, and I'm trying not to. It's a great question. Thanks, Jim Boxer. You know, and it's really just trade the plan. Don't let the plan trade you. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's like, that's why I'm really trying to. And I'm actually only 70 likes on the sticky note, so we may not share this again, but you write down key levels, right? And that's the thing, is that when it hits, it hits. And then I'll give you a good example about Beyond Meat right here about greed, okay? So we knew we wanted that 112.60. We talked about this on the multi-day break right there. It was about as clear as day. Both Arun and I love this trade. So we took it. I crossed up a little bit more than Arun, or we would both have that trade. But now let's go into your question about greed, okay? And I want to thank Arun also today. Arun, I don't know if you've been looking at the chat, but a lot of people are loving the words of wisdom from you. So shout out to Arun. We'll hit the cash register for that. But I'm going to give a little bit of my own now. So the first price target was 115, okay? Now, why was that 115? Really, it was just because we've stopped here at 118 the last couple times. So I kind of just took in the middle of 116 to 118, you know, came up with about a 115 handle. That was 115 here, 115, 116 there, okay? So that was the first out. So we did take out 2/3 there. Why? Because I know the way Beyond Meat trades, and I know how aggressive this name can get, especially off the open. And we are 100% right. It got aggressive, it got real aggressive. But I don't want this thing to fall back in and therefore lose on that. So my greed tells me take out 2/3, but then this is where the greed kicks in. Hold another third. We didn't even get any out when it went all the way up here, right? But then again, when we start to see, look, okay, we're out. This falls back in. We're almost out of the money. It comes back up, hits there again, comes back up right there. Sorry, comes back up here, hits, come back up, hits, come back up. These look like tops. Then I just say, you know what? I'm going to give up the upside now, Jim, just to get out. So I gave up the upside. We got out at a level I thought was reasonable. Here at 1550, we get out. Now, obviously, it's moving upside. So do I now want to like bang my head on the table because we missed out on 50 cents or $1? Yes, it sucks. But all in all, like if I have 100 shares here, am I really going to be that upset I gave up $100? No, I'm going to put that money in my pocket because look, this is 112 up to there. So if I have 100 shares, that's $300. So I took that money and now I'm not going to worry about it because all in all, it could have fell back down. So I would just say trade your plan, have something, an idea. When it goes out for you, look, punch yourself out. Like you hate making moves that are wrong, right? Just like this Ford trade. Look, I got out here, got out. Now we're breaking higher, but my plan is to get out of VWAP. Stick to your plan. I can't say anything other than that, but thank you for the super chat. Stick to your plans, guys. Watch how stocks are trading, and that's why right now we'll hit the siren. We're at the highest spot we've been at with 0 LFD today with no losing trades. So we're super happy. Ford's going to be a loser, but we're really happy with the way this one's turned out. Position pending, guys.
Yeah, you know, a couple things. I've been looking at the chat. There's a couple requests in there. One, people want to see me drink water. Okay, we did this last time too. Here's the water. Here's my mouth. And it goes. There you go. Request done. Request 1 done. Second one, someone wants to see me bench this gift horse. What gift horse? Oh, that one?
You could bench that.
Yeah, I can bench that one. We'll take care of that gift horse.
I think you should just bench Neil one day.
No, let's not do that.
That'd be embarrassing to Neil, right?
Well, no, yeah, that's dangerous, and let's not do that. We don't want to hurt him. So we'll just let that be. But hey, request done. So there we go. Moving on to trades here. Teva, still waiting on Teva here, 1095. That's still flirting around here. Baba is coming back in through 210. I'm okay with it. Again, we already set the risk parameters. Just let it work. It's fine. NMDM bouncing off that 625. Great. Also in the position there. Apple, 127.50, flirting. Nothing's changed on Apple since the last time I talked. CCIV is hesitating at 1950. Again, that is one of those areas I wanted to see how it reacted. I don't like the way it's reacting. That's why I'm not in the short just yet. This could easily bounce back up. This could easily just be a bottom of the range here. And here we are. So we're going to wait for that one. And futures, hey, we are comfortably above this 95 area. So at this point, 10 points in the money. That's $500 per contract, and we're going towards 4,200. That's all we can really do. Let's zoom in on this. In the 5-minute candle, is there anything that shows us hesitation? Not really. We got one red candle since we've opened. Is this even right?
Yeah. It's been nuts, especially on the NASDAQ. I mean, no, more than one since we opened, but maybe 830. Nah, it's been pretty sketchy here for this one, but maybe not the ES. Okay, so there it is again, guys. Like cowbell. Are you not entertained? I mean, look at this Palantir dip again. Bang, bang. Yes, you, sir. These aren't Palantir dips. They're Palantir drips, guys, because right now, Palantir just right now cashing out. This is the kind of day it's been. And yeah, let's just keep on going. We have to wait. Oh, wow. Look at that board. As I turn around and have a look at the board with Brendan, let's throw it over him now. Very, very nice. We have some super chats. We'll address those in a minute.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at the overall S&P 500. Here we go, nicely positive, as Sean was saying, 1.06, in fact, to the upside. There's a couple names standing out here to the downside. COG and the Energy Group, 6% to the downside. This TROW, Diversified Financials, DG, Retailer, Ford is down 1.6% as well. Everything else, though, nicely positive. Somebody mentioned Twitter, I believe, early on. 3.6% for Twitter today. Google right beside that, 2.7%. Even Facebook having a nice day, 2.4% to the upside. Disney, 1.2%. So all of the communication stocks really, really positive. Far corner over there. I believe we were talking about that little MDRR is in this real estate group as well. Information technology stocks leading the way. Haven't said that for a few days. Semiconductors, AMAT here. There's NVIDIA. We mentioned that. LRCX, AMAT, though, both about 4% in positive territory. Software makers also having quite the day. Technology, or hardware makers, I should say, all of them in positive territory. There's not a negative stock there. Consumer discretionary being led by some of the reopening trade ideas, as we talked about, the hotels, the casinos, all back to the upside. The cruise lines here as well. There's Norwegian, RCL. I don't say, oh, there's CCL. not as positive, but still in positive territory. Mentioned Ford down there in negative territory, standing out. Pretty much the entire healthcare sector also in positive territory. There are a few in the healthcare equipment makers and the pharmaceutical side of things that are negative, but overall, good way to start the week. 1.08% for the S&P. Back to Arun.
Yeah, you know, a couple things. The BABA position I was talking about, I'm dumping it. I dumped it already. It's acting really weird. 210 was the break point, but then once we got back underneath, it's been acting a little funky with the volume. I'm going to consolidate my capital here, put it in other things here, because the way it's reacting doesn't warrant something that should be risked. I'm not going to risk $2.50 on something like this when I was going to give it a lot more space than it does, or I did, but then the volume came in and there's something going on, so I'd rather not be in it. I did make 20 cents on that trade. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I still walked away with the profit. It's just that I'm not willing to put up the risk now, the way it's been moving around after it tested below again. So for me, that's a no-go. So I'll walk away from that trade. That's fine. 20 cents is 20 cents. Take that profit and walk away. Futures, here we go. 4,200, closer and closer we go. This is where I'm going to put the capital that came out from this chart is not working properly. The capital that came out from BABA is going right into the futures here because I am long. 86 is where I'm long. So if we can get around 4,200, slow down, I'm going to take some profit. If it breaks through, then I got to consider the possibility of adding. So those are a couple things that you got to do when you're, just kind of analyzing on the go on a stock like or a futures market that's going like this. This chart is not right at all. So that's a couple things. The other two things, Apple, we're waiting on Apple to figure out what to do around 127.50, and NDM still flirting at 625, and Teva come at 1097. So not a whole lot you can do with the other things, but we are waiting to see what happens around 4,200 on the futures. If it slows down again, I am looking to take some profit there.
Okay, I'm just wearing this one just to show off the drip one last time here because I'm hoping that we don't have to worry about wearing masks anytime soon here. And big congratulations to everybody. Let's take it off. This is the NASDAQ mask, by the way. So Valeria's looking at me like I look like an idiot, so take this off. Okay, thanks, Valeria. Okay, we'll take that off, but shout out to our friends at NASDAQ for sending that through as well. Good outs there on Palantir. We'll look for that one. And then, thank you so much. I just had it and I lost it. I'm not going anywhere. Thank you for that super chat. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I lost it. It was $10 and it was about, I'll find it. There it is there. Thank you so much. We always try to give respect to everybody giving the super chat, regardless of what it is. Look, thank you so much, Jaeger Bomb there. My wife and I were talking about Jaeger bombs, and one of our friends, if you guys know what a Jaeger bomb is, put in the chat. And anyways, we're no longer doing those after a couple of bad experiences back when we were like in our early 30s. How old am I right now? But Jaeger bombs, thank you so much for that. And thank you for the $10 there. And great support. Thank you for the show. And thank you for continuing to come back and watching us. We are live again at 3:15. So watch us on that late show. Come back with me and Arun here for a late party time as we'll see if we can't make some more damage here in these markets that we love and trade for you every single day. Palantir back. So let's wait to see now where Palantir wants to go. It's back at these levels. As much of a bull as we are on Palantir, there's only a certain number of times that we're going to go back to the well. So we'll take another dip here if we get into this area, 83, 84. We'll take another one, and then we'll wait for lower after that. I'm not going to average in all the way. It's had a big run today. We like E a lot. We're hella positive on this name. No losing trades here. As you can see, buy. This was early. This was pre-market, so forget about that. But again, we have to be responsible for it. So there. And then all these drips downside. So we'll wait on that one. Looks like we will be getting out and it'll be a loser soon. I was just really happy that we got out of half of this after we analyzed APM and we were like, so this will be a losing trade. So there, we'll have a losing trade on board. If this breaks below this level here, 290, we'll be out of APM. Normally I'd average into this, but again, not really my thing here for that one. I see some people talking about Donkey Kong. That's why I'm just noticing this right now. DraftKings, hell yeah. I want to check on Snowflake too. Snowflake reports should have been long 190. I was off that day, Arun. I think it was a couple Mondays ago where the market went absolutely crazy. And we missed our entry on Snowflake. My bad on that one, guys. But they report later on this week. Look at DraftKings. What I'm going to say here is probably not going to be, too kind to many people, but you got to fade this move, man. DraftKings has been weak. I don't like DraftKings until we get through the summer, and I know the summer is a long ways away, but people They need to start feeling ways again about what sport? Football. For those of you guys, that are in, Britain, Europe. We don't mean soccer. I mean U.S. football. That's when, the betting starts coming back, and that's when people get excited again. So I'm going to wait for DraftKings, but a nice little move back up. Strong like bull here. We'll wait to see if it can get going. This is going to sound crazy. I'm not interested in this name until we get back up here, man. 58, 59. I want DraftKings to show us some strength. I need the 50 period to start turning around. So DraftKings right here. If you're not in it, I think these are great levels, but we can still go down a little bit further. I love 34, 35. I'm long this name too many shares than I'd wish to admit, but we're still long lower than this. I just didn't cash out of enough upside. So I think DraftKings goes again, but just a little warning. This probably does take a couple months. Gambling in the summer is not strong historically, so be very, very careful with DraftKings and Penn.
Yeah, one stock I just we were looking at earlier, but then we kind of backed away because the way it was reacting. CCIV, remember 50 was the area I was acting funky. I was like, it could potentially be the bottom. I bounced. Someone came in, huge offer here, came in at 1940, and there was there's a decent amount of shares there, and we got right through it. Now here we are sitting at 43. Now I try to put an offer out. Seems like I got to pay for shares. Certain times, I'm not sure. When it comes to the stock, depending on how much potential it has, I may pay for the shares, I may not. In this case, I'm not paying for the shares because I've got to give $1. I'm not sure what I can get out of that. I would think $1, but at the same time, if I got to tack on the cost of then paying for the short as well, then that's a problem. So I'm not going to go ahead and do that. We're going to move away from that. Couple updates on the positions. NNDM locked in 24. So here we are out. We were long 13. We got out 29 and 24. So that's trade's done. We can walk away from that. Teva, we still got. Apple, well, it's flirting around 127.50. Like I said, stops and moved, but we're not going to do anything else with it. We're just going to wait for the stock to play itself out. Futures is the other one. You see me long here, 86. It's stalling at 95, but again, 4,200 is right there. I don't have anything to trail it with. So if it comes back down, I've got to figure out what I'm going to do if it comes back down below 90. But till then, I'm not going to do a whole lot. I'm just going to wait for this thing to get closer and closer towards 4,200. But in the meantime, that's it. That's all we've got. Nothing else popped up on our radar. One thing one thing that did pop up was Disney. I had 176 marked off, and it's been moving fairly strong. I wanted to fade this. If it slowed down, this is a 5-minute chart, but if I go back to say the 30-minute chart, there's actually, or let's go 15 even. There's some action here in this 174 through 176 area. You see it right here, going back to the 17th and also the 14th. There's a lot of action here. So I'm looking at this to potentially slow this market down a little bit. If it does slow down, maybe shorts are on the board with 176 as a stop. But that's it. That's the only thing I've got on my radar, apart from all the positions I've already carried through. Disney's the only one I've got left, and the futures obviously is going to take its time. We're hitting almost 11 o'clock now. It's 10:50 now Eastern time, and at this point, if you haven't gotten in, it's going to slow. Things are going to really start to slow down going into lunchtime. So, what can you figure out? I'm not sure, but hey, we got the afternoon show. So if you want to see what we do during the lunchtime as well, come back in the afternoon show. We'll go through our trades that we've gone through, and maybe you can find something there and just learn a little bit. But for now, that's all I've got there.
Yeah, we'll find lots of stocks for you guys to trade. I see people saying Palantir tanking. Is this a tank, guys? Palantir tanking. So I agree, man. We talked about this 1, 2, 3 times the charm. So we took so little shares here that we're just waiting. Now, it broke 80 there. I forgot I had a stop order there, so we got out of a little bit, very, very small amount. You can see our average price here on Palantir is 82, so that's exactly where we've been taking this. So we're going to hold out on this one. It's 10 cents out of the money right now. Remember what the plan is, and we got that super chat about greed there, right? When are we talking about greed? So, I mean, right now is a good spot to do it. So we're already up a lot on Palantir today, and we're just going to wait to see what happens at 2050, right? We're going to wait to see. We do have some bids down here, low side in the 60s. We talked about this. We wanted a better average price on Palantir approaching, just like Arun said, man, and take all our years experience, hopefully for your advantage, that the market's going to slow down now. monster run off the open. Arun just mentioned how many red candles do we even have here on the NASDAQ since open? It's straight up 150 points. So you're going to have to watch out here. Possibly some of these names that we know are strong, but can be weak into a weak tape. This is their opportunity to be weak, right? So please, guys, we've already cashed out everything. I have 171 fills, and now I'm chilled out. Like, hands are off the keyboard. I have key prices that we're waiting for. I suggest that some of you maybe do the same and then wait to see what happens. Remember, it's a summer. I mean, is it summer yet? Technically, it's a summertime trade, so you got to get ready for that. Brendan at the big screen.
All right, guys, quick look at currency markets so far for a Monday. Pretty quiet as far as the actual currency pairs. There's a little bit of US dollar weakness coming back in on a Monday. So a lot of these going to be higher. You can see Japanese yen, Swiss franc to the downside. Volatility play coming off. Turkish lira also another day. 0.3 to the downside. Everything else, though, slightly higher. As far as cryptos are concerned, that's that 30,000 level down there from January that we held again over the weekend. So back towards 38. I feel like it needs to get back above 40. There was a bit of pivot there here as well for Bitcoin around that 40,000. Starts to hold as support, 40,000. Probably going to move back to the upside. Ethereum as well, about 7%, 2,400 acting as support at this point. But everything else pretty quiet. Nice bounce back day, though, overall for cryptos, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, someone in the chat was putting WFC. Is there anything to do? I looked at the chart again. I'm looking to find trades as well. Here, maybe 46.50. You can take a shot there. I mean, this is the market. This is WFC going back to May to the 10th. This is a 5-minute chart or 15-minute chart going back. Let's even make it a little bit bigger. See what kind of a range it's in. So when you find stocks that are inside tight ranges, just temper your expectations on trades like this. Maybe you take a shot, but you take that 46.50 shot. What are you going to get? 50 cents. Expectation is 50 cents. So you kind of gotta get that in perspective when you take trades, right? If you want the big winners, you gotta get these trades to break out of the big ranges, the multi-day ranges. Beyond Meat, that was an example there. You saw how aggressive that one was. So expect when you have a sideways movement, just temper your expectations on what kind of how much profit you can really make on these trades. I mean, there could be a trade there. I see it, but I'm not sure I want to spend my capital there versus other places, right? So Apple, hey, continuing its move towards above 27.50. We've been here so long now, it just won't make up its mind whether it wants to keep on going. Futures inching closer towards 4,200. Here we are back at 41.97 and a quarter. Flirting it with the 4,200. Again, I'm waiting to see what I can do. I have decided that I'm going to move my trailing stop here to just underneath 95. Well, it's not even 95. It's about 92, 93, depending on how it moves around that area. Again, a lot of my trading is done not just based on the charts or the levels. It's also based on how it trades around certain prices. So for me, I'm looking at 92, 93, and depending on the volume and the movement I get there, I will get out some, or I will not get out. It's up in the air. It all depends on how it plays around certain prices. Just understand though, especially when we put up levels, they are areas. They're not specific price points. It is very dangerous to use specific price points because areas are way too, specific prices are way too easy to break. So just understand it's got a little bit of you got to give a little bit of flexibility when it comes to certain ranges and places that you want to take trades around. Sean, I saw the screen blow up. What's happening?
No, I was blowing it up for you, man. I think that's 100% right. I think that's that kind of happy Victoria Day to everybody. We'll hit this out as well. Hand over heart. Let's go. What up to all the Canadians out there? Hope you're enjoying the night or the nice weather. My wife's already sent me some pictures So when I was off, let me show you this. I was actually building. Oh, this is not a great picture, but we have a gazebo here that we were building. We got some furniture in, and we had to put this together as well. There's the fire pit that you see sometimes on Twitter as well. There, here, I can move this up a little bit. The fire pit that you can sometimes see there on Twitter. So anyways, that's that. Very nice. She's sending me, you see the coffee there. How come you're not using the Trader TV mug, my dear? Okay, so Palantir right now, we didn't get that long, but no, what I was exploding it for was exactly what you were saying, areas, right? Like you can't, if you're gonna get stopped out every time. Oh, and let's go to Ford as a great example here. This morning, right? Like, we didn't get stopped out here. We were waiting for 13, but I got to give it a little bit more room. So thank God we gave it to 90. So I gave 4 to dime to the downside and it didn't break. So that allowed us to hold it, go to act to the upside, or else this would have been a disaster trade. Thank God 4 did come back. But shout out to you, Sterling Silver, as well. 6-1 today, I think he was saying, on fills. I hope that that's very, very the same thing that I've been doing. And I know Arun's been having some good luck today as well on all of these names. Ethereum, nice rebound to 2,400. Bitcoin to 37,750 there. Roblox, wow. RBLX, again, I've already stamped this one, like, that this is the name that we should have been buying. I was buying this on IPOs as well, and now Roblox all the way to the upside. I'm definitely not as heavy as this I should be. My kid has 2 shares. Good job for him, because he plays Roblox. I said, let's go, let's make some money there to pay for that game. So now it's all the way to the upside. Good trade there. Oh, Shakib. Yes, what's up to Shakib? It's Hydration Nation. I have a Hydration Nation member with me today, Arun. So that's been a good one. And we're getting near the end of the show, I guess, right? Coming up, are we going to do earnings at some point here? We will. There's a big week for earnings coming up. NVIDIA coming at some point this week. Let's just check what NVIDIA is doing. We were long at 604 on Friday. Yes, sir, 623 today. So a good little cash out there on NVIDIA. And hey, if you wanted a swing trade, man, I tweeted out where my position was, 604. What's up, Beep?
Yeah, not much in the way of earnings for today, guys. NVIDIA Wednesday. There's Lordstown tonight, but they don't have earnings, so we'll pass on that. We'll talk about it tomorrow for sure for Ride, but yeah, the big ones for the week, retail starting tomorrow, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday should be pretty good for earnings, guys.
Yeah, you know, I'm seeing in the chat people saying that candles, you can't see the candles. It's on purpose, especially my charts, they're on purpose. The reason why I do that, it's not out of focus or anything. The reason why I look at the chart like this is so I can see the flow of the markets. People get caught up in the candles. The candles don't mean anything without volume, right? So for me, I like to look at it from the big picture and kind of get a flow, because the market does have a flow, and if you can tune in or just jump into that, then you can actually understand how the volume is going to move along with it. So I pay attention to that. So that's why the charts look like this when you guys come to me. So it's not an audio issue or a video issue. It's just me. Valeria, what do we got?
Hey guys, what a great start of this week. Thank you very much for all the super chats and all the support. And guys, please make sure to like this video right now. It's a holiday in Toronto, and despite that, we're here for you. So we really, really need your support. We'll see you at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Time, and happy National Escargot Day, everyone.
We won't ask you to say that again. Escargot today. Do you know what that is, Valeria?
Well, yeah.
You do? What is
Snails?
it? Snails. Good. Yeah, exactly. So escargot. I don't mind escargot if I'm in one of those kind of moods, but for me, I'll pass on just a generic day for escargot. But hey, you guys know the kind of moods you need to be in to have that. I do like I like escargot a lot. How about you, Arun?
Never had it. Not sure I'd want to try it, but I'm open to trying everything once. But I've never had it. I've never been in a situation where it's been something that I'm like, oh, I want that first. No, there's other things, but again, I'm open to trying it if we get to that point. Same way Neil was open to trying pineapple pizza, finally. For anyone who doesn't know, anytime we have a holiday here in Canada, we have to get food because the caterer doesn't come in. And it's ridiculous trying to get Neil to order pineapple pizza because it never happens. And finally, he tried it, so maybe he'll change his mind. He took the day off today, so I don't know what that says about pineapple pizza, but hey, at least he tried it. I'm open to trying it as well, Sean.
Right, but you are a fan of the pineapple pizza.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, good. So me and Arun like the pineapple pizza. Hard for me to say that being Italian. Brendan, I think you're an escargot guy.
Oh, 100%.
There we go. That was
the keg here the keg is in the U.S. as well, I believe. Maybe not. They have great escargot. If you've ever been to the keg, order escargot. Otherwise, you need to be on a patio in Paris, France.
There we go.
To have proper escargot, in my opinion.
Yep, 100% right, and that's what I was getting at there. Mood situation with escargot. Guys, it's been an absolutely fantastic day. What do you think about the day so far, Valeria?
It's amazing.
It is. Guys, join us back at 3:15 where Arun, myself, Brennan, and Valeria will rock this show one more time. Neil, I hope you're enjoying your day. Arun, any last words for our viewers, my friend?
No, just tune in again and see how these trades turn out. Because keep in mind, futures, I've got it. I haven't done anything. We got a lot of day left, so tune in the afternoon to see how this all turns out.
All right, guys, for Brendan, Valeria, Arun, and myself, and our lovely production team, we will see you soon, guys. Come back at 3:15. Thanks for joining us this Monday.
Bye, guys.